podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
We're being attacked, man. We're being attacked, believe me. Y'all killing me, man. I'm the most vicious.
He's a savage, he's an animal. He's a different breed of person. It's not like us.
Why is he ducking George Foreman? He's already a tramp. He ain't no champ. Around here jiving, making a business out of it. I'm a champion. I fight everybody, every month, all of them. Bong on.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
I kept telling him he had no punch. He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing. Let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet.
He talks too much. He's ugly. He's pretending. I'm the true champion, and they make me the underdog. I'm going to show them all they're wrong.
Muhammad Ali didn't have a lot of muscles. He wasn't all that strong. This man's presence, you could hit him where you hit everyone else, but he was not willing to fall. He was not willing to be counted out.
I haven't convinced these suckers yet. I destroyed George Foreman. I destroyed Joe Frazier.
Because I'm the champion. I'm the real champion. There'll never be one like me.
Fast. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark.
I'm a bad man. I told you I'm the real champion. I told you I'm the champion of the world. All of you bow. All my critics call. All you suckers who write the Rain magazine.
I'm going to prove I'm the greatest. I'm going to prove to you I'm the greatest. We're going to prove to the world I'm the greatest. This is my last fight. I don't want none of you to miss it.
No special training. Just be at the fight. I'm ready to back up everything I'm saying. And I'm through talking.
SDS Promotions.
I took up the world. I took up the world.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we're here to discuss the latest breaking news from Michael Coppinger. Some may not believe, some may choose to believe. I don't know what you want to believe, but the facts are that good old Michael Coppinger is reporting that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have reportedly now been in negotiations and are negotiating with each other directly over the phone and have agreed to a purse split. What that means, though, is that this fight isn't happening next, and instead Coppinger is reporting that Spence versus Keith Thurman and Crawford versus Alexis Rocha is expected next, but progress for Spence versus Crawford for 2023. So it looks like they're still trying to get us this fight just later in the year, and we are going to proceed with the normal mandatory challenger in Alexis Rocha for Terence Bud Crawford, and Keith one-time Thurman, the WBC mandatory for Errol Spence Jr. Still no news as to whether or not that fight between Keith and Errol is going to take place at 54, or will he actually be defending those world titles? But I wanted to cover this. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Michael Coppinger, don't believe him, Ness, yada, yada, yada. But the truth is, we followed Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis just as close. Every time something was reported about that fight, we covered it. We talked about it. We did a show. We had an audience. You guys listened. Some of you called in, gave your opinions. And why not do the same? This is the other big fight that we've been waiting for a long time. And truth be told, Ryan and Tank, they came through. They actually came through. So when, you know, more people thought that Ryan was a Kappa and wouldn't take a serious fight. More people believe he wouldn't fight someone of the caliber of Tank. You know, they thought he was a Kappa. They thought he was, you know, never gonna get in there with someone as skilled or as hard punching as Tank, right? and he did it. So I just feel the need to follow this as closely as we did that fight, because this is our other super fight. This is probably the bigger fight for us hardcores, and Tank and Ryan the bigger fight for, you know, the millennials, the younger generation maybe. But we are taking callers on our landline. The number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can also join us on Discord if you want to talk. We also have Twitter Spaces rocking and rolling for anybody that wants to join us. And obviously, if you want to communicate any other ways, you can do super chats or cash apps. Feel free, totally on you. We'd rather have you call in and give us your opinion. Do you believe they've agreed? And what's really agreeing to the split mean? I thought they did that already, in the first contract. The first things they had. I don't know. I don't see how this should be any different. And a lot of us believe that. Like, hey, they agreed before the Avanesian fight. They had agreed on certain things. So what's so hard with just jumping right back into that previous agreement? I don't know how much has changed for either man since then, other than for Bud, making a bunch of money to fight Avanesian. And for Earl, suffering another accident. Luckily, according to him, his car was bulletproof. And, it absorbed most of the damage. And that's why we're getting him May, June. Now, we did have a longtime listener that called in and said his brother would be on the undercard with Pitbull Cruz versus Giovanni Cabrera. That sounds like a great co-main event. Maybe a lot of people don't know Giovanni Cabrera and know Pitbull Cruz, and that's okay, because Cabrera is the guy that beat Gabriel Flores Jr. He has a decent resume. He's from Chicago. I don't know about co-main, maybe opener, but I think that PBC's invested in Pitbull Cruz, so I don't know that he'll be in the opener or anything like that. More like maybe the co-main. But yeah. We're also going to have Samuel Teel on the show, who just picked up the big win over Enrico Gogo Key. And we're going to talk to him about his win over the weekend and see how he's feeling, man. So, yeah, man, and once again, if you want to call in, you want to voice your opinion, I know this isn't everybody's, a lot of people have lost the ambition to talk about this fight, they've squeezed the life and the fun out of it for some of us. But again, we got to continue to follow it just as closely as we did Tank Ryan, as I swear this fight would have gotten done before that fight. And, it's been the opposite, right? Tank and Ryan, the young guys, have been able to get it together. And maybe that's going to be one of those reasons why Crawford and Earl sit down. Like the reports are saying, these guys are now talking on the phone and doing these things themselves. Maybe they'll be able to get it together the way that Ryan and Tank did. Because truth be told, we shouldn't have to wait any longer for this fight. And it just won't be the same if this fight takes place at 54. It wouldn't be for all the marbles. It wouldn't be for all the belts. It wouldn't mean as much. But Jonathan Sims, $5 Super Chat, says, Ness, I rocks with you, following since 2012. If you want to just talk to us, okay. But this is beneath you. Please stop. You're not this gullible. Oh, so you don't believe this is happening. Wow, you see, and this is what I'm saying. I'm going to always report, I think Coppinger and Salvador Rodriguez are good as sources as any. So I'm going to report. And not to mention, this also means that Keith and Earl are fighting, and that Crawford and Roacha are fighting, and that Crawford, might have did a one-fight deal. with Golden Boy. Who knows? My bad. I am being texted by Arliano Sosa, the trainer Chris Colbert. Yep. So, I'm being texted by everybody now. Serafina's ready for her guest. We're doing that at 3:30. And then we'll get Samuel Teel on the show. And we are taking callers, Discord, Twitter Spaces, and our landline. And let me send her the link. Yeah, man. So I'm excited. You know, this is the fight that I really want. So if they could get it together, now they're talking. You know, Crawford made it seem like he couldn't get Earl on the phone at all in the past. Seems like now they are talking, according to Michael Coppinger. So this is a good thing for me. And I don't mind each of them getting a tune-up, you know, so that there's no complaining. No complaining about this one having time off and this one not being fresh. You know, now Crawford has 2 and Earl unfortunately has 1. But, you know, it is what it is. At least 1 is better than none. And, you know, Keith gets his fight, the one that he wanted. So everybody happy. You know, not really me. I feel like this will be Keith's retirement fight. I don't know that he fights past Errol Spence if he doesn't get the win. But I don't know. Maybe you guys could tell me in the comment section or when you call in. If Earl defeats Keith Thurman, do you see him fighting again, or would that be his last fight? And if you are watching this on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice, do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. It's going to put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans that may want to call in. And that call-in number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion. I see a lot of people saying Thurman and Roacha are not tune-ups. I mean, Rashidi Ellis beat Roacha, and no one's ever said Rashidi Ellis is on the level of a, you know, Earl or Crawford. And, you know, an older version of Pacquiao and Barrios. You know, Pacquiao beat Thurman, and then a smaller version of Barrios moving up hurt Thurman. I don't know that he gets a win over the top of the division. But it's on him to prove us wrong. Like, it's not my fault he hasn't fought nothing but 3 times in 4 years. It's not my fault that, you know, he got dropped in the Pacquiao fight. It's not my fault that he takes his mouthpiece out. So, like, he makes us believe these things by the actions that he is doing. And, you know, that's that, you know. And you know, Roacha never got that Rashidi Ellis rematch. He still has that going on. But look, he'll be a good, like I said, you know, if tune-up is a disrespectful word for you, then maybe he's a good lead-in to, you know, the Southpaw Errol Spence, you know. Yeah, maybe that'll work. But I got some callers here on Discord looking like I got Zorro. What up?
Hello, can you hear me?
What's up, Vega?
Oh man,
Man,
here
you
we go
changed that
again,
screen
huh?
name more than underwear.
Say what?
You changed your screen name more than underwears.
Yeah, well, don't expect it to change for a minute, man. As a fan of boxing, it's exactly what we want to see, exactly what we want to hear. These dudes doing what they can to make it happen. There's two of the best welterweights we've seen in a long time. Unified champ Errol Spence taking all his belts from other champions. Terence Crawford, three-weight division, former undisputed, and all knockouts at his current weight class. Them hearing reports that they're actually speaking to one another. It's like I said, it's exactly what we want to hear. But you know, we've been here before, man. I guess Errol did post last week. He is spin. He made a little showed a little gif of him spinning the block. So I guess this is in regards to that. But man, like honestly, I'm just so sick and tired of hearing these fucking rumors. Wake me up when it actually happens, and like I'm done with this whole cheering for a fighter, especially when it comes to Errol, man. I got Bud stopping his ass now, man. I'm so sick of this shit. Like, yo, just shut up and fight, man. Good at the talking, but get the goddamn thing signed and let's get in the ring, man. That's all I got.
Wait, you said you got Bud stopping Earl now?
I got Bud stopping Errol, man. Errol don't fight enough, man. It's Bud is out here trying to make fights, man.
Damn, when did you flip? When did you stop thinking Earl could win?
Man, I woke up Sunday. It was an epiphany, man. I just started putting everything in perspective. That's why I give so much credit to Ryan Garcia, man. He had so many people in his ear. So many, he has his lawyer that helps him with most things. He has his promoter, and he said, "I want one thing, that's Gervonta." And I like that energy. And Errol he wasn't giving that full energy, and it's for a reason. I don't think he truly believes 100%, nor the people around him, that he can defeat Terence Bud Crawford. And now I'm a believer of that as well.
Damn.
All right, as I catch you on the next one.
That's what makes the fight good, though, because it got people flip-flopping. And, it's going to surprise some of us with the outcome more than likely because, we got our favorites. But once again, the number to call, 1425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here. Voice of the People hotline. We also have our Discord rocking and rolling, as well as Twitter Spaces. I'm going to go ahead and pin both those links in our live chat on YouTube in case anybody wants to call in using either Discord or Twitter Spaces. And you can use the call-in number, 1425-569-5241. In about 6 minutes, we'll have Samuel Teel, who got the big win on Saturday's card over Enrico Go Key. So shout out to him for coming on the show. He's had some big wins in his career and some tough decisions for sure. If you're on Blog Talk, don't forget to hit that one button at least one time. That's going to indicate to me you're ready to rock and roll right here on YouTube and on the live show. And that'll have me, allow me to help you get up on the show. Same thing on Twitter Spaces. Just got a request, and on Discord, same thing, request. We just got a couple minutes before we get our first guest, Samuel Teel, on the show. I wish I would have bet on him, man. I gave our audience her advice and let them know, he was a live underdog, but I didn't put the money on Samuel Teel, man. I wish I would have, because he was paying out lovely. That was a big upset win for him. And that was on Brandon Figueroa versus Mark Magsayo card that took place this last Saturday on Showtime. So let me see what's going on in our live chat while we wait for our first guest. Crawford is great. There's nothing wrong with accepting reality. Okay, RD. I mean, I don't know, because I felt like the way Vega made it sound was like the longer we wait, the more it benefits Crawford. And I get it from the standpoint of activity. Now Crawford would have had 2 fights relatively back to back, with the Avanesian sometime in November maybe or December, and then, whenever this Rocha pans out, which hasn't been announced yet, no date, no month. It would be good to get them going in the same month, maybe a week or two behind each other. For Earl, it would be ideal for him and Keith to fight on Fox, and for Crawford, obviously he cannot do that. But one of those free weekends, the way Showtime does it, maybe he'd do a free weekend with DAZN or something, so he can get as many people to watch it as possible. But what date and month for Crawford? That's what we really need to find out. That's the information that needs to get leaked, because they're saying end of May, early June for Keith and Earl. Has been all the rumors. When would Crawford and Golden Boy get him out there on this one-off? Jonathan Sims says, we know the fights won't align like that. I mean, seems like it's aligning, man. It seems like it's aligning right now. Things are falling in place. Is what it looks like anyway. So we should be getting Samuel Teel now. I just let him know to come through. Looks like Starks 7 with a 2-pound super chat. He says that statement was put out so we pay for Keith. Okay, if you want to look at it that way, I could play that role. Remember that this is what they did with Tank. It was more of an announcement with Tank, like, oh, we fighting Hector, then we fighting Ryan. But look how long it got before you actually had a signed contract. So all in all, even though the intentions was there, the official statement took some time, So I don't see it as a, snatch and grab the way you making it look like they trying to, put this, dangle the carrot, snatch your money for Keith and Earl. And damn, you saying pay for Keith and Earl? I haven't heard that they, that was pay per view. I didn't know that Keith and Earl was pay per view. I hope not, but I get it. Earl's been pay per view for a long time now, and Keith just got on pay per view. We got Supermax that says, we've seen this play out too many times. Before one of these guys is going to get clipped, before history always repeats itself, this will be no different. Damn, don't say that, because then that means Keith beats Earl or Rocha beats Crawford. That's the over-marination, man. The over-marination. We got the Axiom that says, sounds like announcement on the Ryan Tank pay-per-view seems to be the best way to announce Bud versus Spence. The way that we think things should be announced and the way that they actually choose to do it are so different, right? They're so different. They're never on par with, like, we be thinking they gonna announce shit on Super Bowl weekend or, nah, it never happens. They don't use the Super Bowl. They don't pay for a commercial. It's just, they not doing none of that, man. Boxing is a stepchild, man. And not even a stepchild, because, people out here love their stepchildren, man. We are worse than that, man. They treat us worse. I don't even know what metaphor to use, but we don't get, as boxing fans, they treat us like, we don't count. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It's going to help with the visibility. And don't forget you can also call in while we wait for our first guest, Samuel Teel. Thought he would be here by now. But yeah, I see Vega saying I'm in my Florida house. Yes, I am in my Florida house, man. Doing the shows from my home studio, taking in some of this Florida weather, man. It's amazing out here, bro. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. That's why I fucking came out here in the first place. You know, I got a run-in before the morning show this morning, and I still got to go to the boxing gym around 6. So, yeah, I love it out here, man. I feel youthful, you know? But if you haven't hit that thumbs up, go ahead and do so. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. We got Twitter Spaces and Discord if you want to call in while we wait for our guests. Show business. Waiting on my guest, Samuel Teel. Got the big win this weekend. I ain't know he could do it and didn't bet, even though I had the inside info, even though I spread that inside info. But he picked it up, man. He picked it up. Moves on from here. Ranked 41 in the world globally on BoxRec. So we'll see where he ends up. I could see a Pedraza fight. You know, Pedraza coming off with a draw and a loss or something like that. Richard Comey is fighting Jose Pedraza. You could do a Jose Zepeda fight. I would say Montana should give him a rematch. I always thought he deserved the rematch. Now I get the interview on him. Ask him, does he feel, you know, that he beat Montana? And Montana himself is coming off that Steve Sparks loss, so he could, you know, he needs a bounce back. All right, here we go. Tsunami Sam. Champ, are you there? Looks like that is a no. All right. Well, looks like we're going to have to wait for him to connect, but he is at least trying. I don't know that he is in an area with adequate internet to actually get it going, but we'll see. Here we go again. What's going on, Tsunami Sam? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Happy for you, man. We had Serafino on the show. I think it was the Thursday or the Friday right before your fight. She was letting us know that, you know, you had gotten that opportunity and that you were a live dog in that fight, man. And I'm looking at the BoxRec and I'm like, wow, you've been out the ring for so long. So I told my audience, man, and I said, you know, if you want to believe it, put something on them, bro. You was like almost a 4-1, too. I hope somebody in your family bet on you, man. You did good, too. You did good.
They definitely did. I had a close friend of mine that bet on me. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So were you in the gym? Because you didn't seem to get gassed out like I would think a guy out of the ring for 3 years would. So were you in someone's camp? Were you just staying busy? Or, I mean, how did it all come together for you?
Well, to be honest, especially as you get older in age, I feel like that time out of the gym was actually beneficial, to be honest, because even prior to me taking that break, I was like back to back for a little bit. So I feel like that time was definitely helpful to me. It gave me it gave my body time to basically rejuvenate and recuperate. And prior to that, like I for like the past year and a half, I just kept on having canceled date after canceled date. So I was always in camp getting ready for a fight, and then it gets canceled. And even right before this particular fight, we were supposed to fight in Canada. We had a full camp. We got out there, landed and everything. Got to the venue, and then the fight got canceled. So it just we was definitely consistently in the gym. I mean, I would take an unusual amount of time off in between, but we'll get a fight date and I'll be right back to it. So the time out of competition was helpful, but like I said, I was always training.
So I was telling my audience, you know, that after this win, I could see a lot of things shaking out for you, like maybe a Jose Pedraza fight. He's coming off of like a draw and a loss or something like that. Jose Cepeda, he's coming off that title shot opportunity.
I would actually love that fight.
Even Montana Love, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like I watched that. I feel like that was a showbox. I feel like maybe you should have got the win, and that's what I be telling my audience for years, but now I finally got you. Do you think you deserve the win? Looking back on it now, do you think he deserved the win? Talk to me about that Montana fight.
I really can't even recollect the Montana fight. I know I wasn't 100%, and even for me not being 100%, the decision was a split decision on his behalf. That's one that I really don't care too much for. He's not like, yeah, he's up there in ranking, but he's not somebody that I'm really like excited to fight. I could definitely see me taking that opportunity and getting and redeeming that loss, but I don't really care for it. A Jose Pedraza, Zepeda, any of those guys that's like hungry about the sport, I would be excited for. But like I said, I wasn't 100% for that Montana fight, so given the opportunity and I'm 100%, it'd definitely be a different outcome.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he got that DAZN deal. He's coming off of the Steve Sparks loss, so you never know if he feels confident to get back in there with you to get back in the mix. But so, what's your promotional stance? You a free agent, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm a free agent. Right now I like my team. I got Serafina on the lookout for fights, managing me. I got a solid team. My trainers, Rashim Jefferson, Boxing Rel, George G, and Coach Freak. These guys are backing me. They support me 100%. So whenever a fight presents itself, I present it to them. If they like it, we go for it. And I got another overseer, John Howe. Whenever these guys come into a consensus about a fight, I'm all for it.
So has the phone started ringing? I mean, I know it's only 2 days, but I feel like that's a decent win. A lot of people got to see Go-Go Key fight Kent Clark twice, or Kent Cruz, excuse me, who was Ronnie Shields' fighter, and now he's about to fight Gary Antoine Russell, so it's all relative, man.
Right. Absolutely. Like I said, like I never been anyone to duck any type of wreck. So if it makes sense to me, I'm in.
For sure. So when are you looking to get back, or are you just looking to see what makes the most sense in terms of when the phone rings, or do you got a projected month where you would like to get back in there?
As soon as possible. Like I said, once Serafina's just as hungry as I am, so she's on the prowl. Whenever she gives me a call, she definitely has been sending me messages and phone, letting me know the different type of phone calls that's coming through. So if she likes it, my team likes it. I don't care about the fight. If my team likes it, I'm in it. So if my team feels like that is a good opportunity, is a good fight, they believe I could beat it. I believe I could win. It don't matter who it is. I believe I could beat anybody. So if my team is in a consensus about a fight, we just buckle down and we get the training.
Has this win, kind of given you a resurgence, rejuvenation of the career? Are you motivated to get back in it? Because now this is your second win in a row, and you are 35, but things are looking on and up and up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't necessarily say that this win kind of rejuvenates my career. It definitely does a lot for my career, but I don't feel like I was in a position where my career had basically died down. Yeah, I took a bad loss with the Asian kid, but I don't feel like this loss really this win really is what catapults my career. If anything, if my career was like dwindling, it was just on me. You get what I'm saying? It was just my lack of passion a little bit. But so if it's in that sense, then yeah, it definitely gives me a little bit of fire to get back on the horse and keep rolling.
So what you think it is, because you have been up and down, like you said, you had the tight fight with Montana. You got the win over Kenneth Sims, who, people they not accepting fights with Kenneth Sims, but then you lose to Trayshawn Wiggins, but then you beat Sonny Fredrickson, but then you lose to Brandon Lee, but then you beat Enrique Gogo Key. So it's like, what's up? Why you up and down? Is it the family, mentally, the you ain't found the right gym, the right team? What can you point the finger to?
Nah, it's definitely all on me. And it's a little bit of the different things that you listed, but for the most part, it's just me. A little bit of inconsistency on my behalf, and then sometimes just not sticking to game plan when I jump in there. The Sims, the Wiggins fight was definitely a fight that I should have taken. I think I was under a little bit of pressure at the time. But right now where I'm at, I really feel like I have come into myself as a fighter. I would say, like I've been telling so many people leading up to this fight, I feel like the beginning of camp to the end of camp, I feel like my boxing IQ went from, if we used to say my IQ was a 6 at the beginning of camp, I feel like my IQ shot up to like a 12 by the end of camp. So you can't tell me that I wasn't winning this fight. You feel me? The only thing that didn't go according to plan for me in this fight was the knockout, because I definitely felt my IQ was so up there that I felt like I was going to go get this guy out of there. And I feel like it plays into that as well. My IQ just kept me on a little bit on the cautious side. So that's the only thing. But I feel like where I'm at right now, I definitely have developed the IQ where it don't matter who it is.
So I've been watching your career for so long. I'm trying to see what might have been the first fight, because maybe the Oshaki fight. That what network was that?
Showbox.
Probably the Oshaki fight. Damn, that was early in your career. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bruh, that, damn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's that, your 8th fight?
Yeah, that was I think that was my 9th fight, maybe. I think I was either 8 and, no, actually that was my 10th or 11th fight. I think I was 8 and 2.
Bro, you gotta be punching at the air when these motherfuckers is becoming champs. Dudes you've been in there with, you beat, like, you got to be like, what the fuck, like.
Yeah. See, I really don't trip. Yeah. It definitely gets you to thinking a little bit, but I really don't trip. It's a difference because these guys are boxing full time. I got a whole bunch of things going on outside of boxing.
I want to know your story, because I promise you, I've been watching you for so long. I never even knew you was from West Africa. Like I thought you was born. I thought you was a Philly dude And now I hear your accent. I'm like, dang, he got an accent. I Google and all of a sudden it say Liberia. I'm like, what the fuck? I had no clue. All this time I thought you was from Philly.
Nah, born out there and everything. I was in the middle of the war out there and all that.
How old were you? When did you come to America?
I was like 9 or 10. I was probably like 10 years in New York, and then from New York we came to Philly.
Wow. Damn, that's a big trip from New York to Philly. How long y'all stood in New York?
We was in New York probably for like 2 years. And then we
big change from New York to Philly for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though Philly got its city life, but it's you know, I guess it's still PA, right? It's still PA, so it's like you gonna find your countryside.
It was a huge difference, yeah. And there's a huge Liberian community out in Philly too. So
really,
yeah. Southwest is like Lower Africa, man.
Oh wow. Yeah. So this gonna sound dumb, but like, do you go to like the West Indian parades? I'm saying the wrong thing. I think is it in Jamaica? I know in New York they do something like oh my God, what's that?
I'm a little ashamed. I'm actually just getting in touch with my African side a little bit.
Okay.
I just started listening to the African music and all that, man. Yeah. Even coming out to this fight, I walked out to a little Burner Boy.
Okay.
I'm just getting in touch with it a little bit. I be in the gym. They be going crazy because I be playing that African music.
That's good, man. I like it. I had no clue. I'm telling you, I seen all them showbox. I had no clue. I hear the accent now, though.
A lot of people don't know until I tell them.
Yeah, man. So how much time did they give you for this last fight? When they called you, how many weeks out was it?
Well, see, they initially called us. We had maybe 7 or 8 weeks for the fight, and then they canceled it. They and then they called us back with exactly 5 weeks left. So once they canceled it, like I said, I'll be working. So and for me, boxing, it's not as if I'm a young man where I'm a young kid where I have just a small responsibility. So right now I got a son, so I got major responsibilities. So for the most part, when I don't have a date, I'm not in the gym.
Yeah.
So the minute they canceled the fight on us, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see y'all when we get a fight date. So I was out the gym again.
Damn. So what you doing on the side?
Well, I work for the city. I drive mass transit.
Oh. Yeah, and that's like 8-10 hours, right?
If that, 11, 12 hours a day. Yeah. And then I be humping, so sometimes I'm doing 20-hour bids in a day.
Word. Gotta get it, man. Gotta get it.
Yeah. So it's grown man problems over here. So as soon as Sarah hit me and they canceled the fight, and mind you, like I said, we were supposed to fight in December. In Canada, and we was in camp for that.
Bro, wait a minute. So how do you stay in shape with 12? So you not running unless they give you a fight?
I'm not doing nothing unless they give me a fight.
Holy shit! I'm even more impressed you beat that kid. That's crazy.
No, but it's all in knowing my body, knowing myself. I peak because I train so hard. Like I said, I got a sturdy team. George G, Rasheem Jefferson, and Rich and Famous Feet. I got a sturdy team, and these guys be on me. So just as much as they be on me, when they give me that fight date, my motivation, my mindset, everything changes.
So so your job gives you 2 months off or 10 weeks off, whatever you ask for?
Hell no. I'm training around work.
What?
Yes, I'm training around work. I'm training around. Look, I just fought Saturday. I gotta go back to work tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm training.
Shit.
I'm training around work. Yeah. So like I said, we were supposed to fight in December. Like initially it was November 5th in Canada, and we was in camp, and then they hit us. They was like, we taking y'all off the card. We gonna push y'all back to December. So that messed me up. So I think I dialed down, and then we got back on it, and then started getting ready for December, and then we got all the way out there. And then the fight got canceled, and they tried to postpone us for January 13th. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Like I'm not. That's a lot of money I'm losing. That's a lot of time I'm wasting. So I'm not even gonna take that risk again. So I was out.
So this fight got rescheduled, postponed 3 times.
Not this particular one.
Oh,
it was a different dude, a Canadian dude that got postponed to twice, and they tried to postpone it for a third time, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I was out the gym, and then Sarah hit me about this fight, and this fight was supposed to be February 28th or 25th, one of them dates, and then that got canceled. So I was out the gym, and then she hit me like a week later. I was out the gym for like another week. She hit me like a week later, and then it was like, all right, they want you back. I was like, all right, back in the gym. So I got back in the gym. So I'm working, getting off work at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm listening.
Getting off work 1 o'clock in the morning. Wake up, come home. I get home probably like 1:40. 1:30, 1:40 in the morning, come home, wake up, 6 o'clock in the morning, go do road work, go to the gym, 9 o'clock, get right back to work, day in and day out.
Wait, so from 9 a.m. to what? How many hours in the gym?
Probably like, I probably leave the gym probably like 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 9:30 to 12. Yeah, so I was doing that all throughout camp. And then from there, right back to work.
Damn.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not in the gym until I get a fight day, but I peak so fast. I train so hard and I peak so fast, and I'm a pescatarian too, so it helps me to keep my body from going so far up in weight.
Yeah.
So I never have to worry about my weight. But I peak so fast, I train so hard, and I got my guys that be pushing me to the point where whenever we get a fight day, we can be ready in like 2-3 weeks. But at the level where I'm competing at, if I need at least 4 to 5 weeks or more to probably get ready for this level of opposition. So 4 or 5 weeks, Sarah hit us, we had 5 weeks. I'm like, I bet, let's dial in. We dialed in, and it was even crazier because I had personal stuff going on, family stuff too, that caused me to miss some days out the gym. 2 of my trainers was...
How many days in a week is a good week for you? Like, how many days you want to hit the gym?
A good week, getting ready for a fight?
Yeah.
A good week is 6.
Sunday off.
Sunday off. And even on Sundays, and this is something I picked up. Even on Sundays, this is something I picked up from being in camp with Bud and them. Even on a Sunday, I'm in the gym. I mean, I don't even go to the gym, but I pick Sundays as, because Bud and on Sundays, they do like a leg day. So on Sunday, I go to the steps. I do some steps or something with one of my brothers. So even on Sunday, I'm working. You feel me? But on a good week, I'm hitting the gym every day. But that's very rare.
So who you using for sparring? Because I'm like, man, you being down in Philly, but you I don't know. I mean, do you get work with Boots? I know that's a division above.
I haven't worked with Boots in a while. I used to work with Boots a lot. I used to work with Pooh, Boots' brother,
Pooh Ennis, yeah.
I used to work with Pooh a lot. And then my first time working with Boots, he was 16. But once Pooh stopped boxing, Boots was the go-to. You feel me? Because I used to love boxing Pooh. So once Pooh stopped boxing, Boots was the go-to. I used to box Boots all the time. For this fight, one of the best work I could possibly ask for was Mark Dawson. Very versatile, very great at creating distance. Paul Crow. I had a bunch of other guys. We got a good stable. Rasheem Jefferson, he got a good stable of fighters. Karan Hooks, Brandon. We got a bunch of guys. Damien, we got a bunch of guys. But for this, Mark Dawson was a very good look for me for this fight.
Okay. So, I also hear you've been in camp with Devin Haney.
Yeah, I've
When
been in
was
camp
that?
with. I've been in camp with Devin Haney. I've been in camp with Terence Crawford. I was in camp with Lipinets at one point too, but I didn't get a chance to work with him. He had a little injury, but yeah, I love being in camp with Devin. But man, it's different things that both of those guys has like just not even done per se, just their whole camp. It's different things that both of those guys has passed down to me that will forever correlate throughout my career.
Like what specifically? What you seen that you was like, oh
Well,
wow.
one of the first things that was passed down to me when I was in camp with Devin and them, and I noticed how important it was down my career. One of the most important things that they passed down when I was sparring Dev was they noticed that I had anxious energy. They said I was a little jittery. I had anxious energy because every time like he would react. Not me being scared or nervous or nothing like that, but I would overreact all the time. You feel me? And that stuck with me. And I feel like that also played a part in my fight with Brandon Lee. So that really didn't click until then. And as far as experience, man, being in there with Bud, it was just different. Easily easily the best person I've been in the ring with my whole career, and I picked up a lot from him. His rhythm.
Damn, champ, you from Philly? They gonna come looking for you. You been in there with Boots too.
Yeah. Listen.
But that was a young Boots, so it's not comparable. Or you think it don't matter?
Nah, I work with Boots in this as he's gotten older. It's been a couple years, so it's not this current Boots, but I would say maybe like 3-4 years, maybe. But I'm sure he's a different type of fighter now. But like I definitely been in there with some good opposition. I don't know if you remember Tyrone Brunson. I used to be in there with him a lot too. Yeah, I used to be in there with him a lot too. So I listen. So it kind of took me. It kind of took me and my whole team by surprise what Brandon Lee was able to do because I'm like, yo, I done felt punches from some of the strongest, some of the best. So it felt a little surreal to me. It felt a little unusual, like an unusual type of power. I'm not making any accusations, but it just didn't feel regular to me. Cause
How you gonna say you not making any accusations, but making accusation?
I'm just saying it didn't feel regular. I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying it didn't feel regular to me. You feel me? I've been hit by Tyrone Brunson, like flush. I mean, I went 10 rounds of sparring with Tyrone Brunson, and I felt some power. I've been hit by Bud, and I felt some power. Bud is not like a one punch dumping type of dude, but he got power. Like he's physically strong.
Yeah.
You feel me? So and then it was weird because the minute I hit the ground, I was good. So it was just weird to me. You feel me? I would love the opportunity to run any one of my losses back. But
honestly, I looked at that fight and I'm like, damn, is it just that time in his career where like, cause you never been knocked out till that point, and I'm like, is it cause he 35 and he just old now? So I was scared. That's why I swear to God, Sarah told us to bet on you. I'm like, I told my audience, do what y'all want. I'm staying away because I wasn't sure. I'm like 3 years out the ring, coming off a knockout. You know, I see you had the Larry Fryer win, but it's like, you know, I'm just like, I'm going to stay away. And then you did it.
And to be honest, Larry Fryers wasn't no. I mean, you can't tell from how I handled him, but he wasn't no pushover. You feel me? He had the whole Yonkers, New York out here. Like there was back things. Like he was game. He was game. But if you watch that Larry Fryers fight, and like I said, like my IQ just jumped up like crazy because even in that Larry Fryers fight, that for as long as it lasted, you could see my discipline. You feel me? You can see my punch selection. You can see my patience. And I feel like one thing that if I could take anything back from my fight with the Asian brother, one thing that I would change, one thing that has definitely changed is my discipline. I feel like I was over anxious in that fight. You feel me? Especially once the bell rang and I seen how easy it was for me to touch him with my jab. Cause I was handling him, like I was touching him at will with my jab. You feel me? Which was the plan. But one thing that I would definitely change would be my patience. I definitely was a little overzealous and I was a little overconscious of this dude could punch. So I'm like I'm doing too much head movement. I'm all over the. So I feel like my IQ now would definitely cause that to be a different type of fight.
Well, Sam, man, I totally appreciate you coming on. Give everybody your social media in case they not following, they could do so. And we do appreciate you coming on, man. Next time you get another fight, we'd like to get you on so you can make that fight announcement, man, before the fight actually happens.
For sure. I appreciate you having me on, man. I got Twitter, but I don't really be on there though. But on Instagram, tsunami_underscore Sam1, and then Facebook, just my regular name, Samuel Teel.
All right. Well, once again, to be clear, because we just had Bruce Trampler on, right? Or Brad Goodman. We had one of them on the other day. So
Brad Goodman, that's my guy, man.
All right. So you said you want Pedraza or Cepeda, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. But that's top rank. What about on that matchroom side?
Man, listen, I don't care. If it makes sense, I'm in it. Like, and I always felt that way about my whole career. Like these promoters and they try to shortchange you on fights, but if it makes sense, I'm in. I don't care.
I mean, you see who hot on that matchroom side these days.
You see who's hot right here. I don't care. Like it don't get no hotter than Africa, man. So listen, if it makes sense, I'm in it.
Oh shit. I thought you was actually calling him out. That's what they call him, is Africa at 140. Richardson Hitchens.
It don't make a difference to me. It don't make a difference. If it makes sense, man, like I'm in it. Like this is a business at the end of the day. So if it makes sense, like let me add it.
Yo, before I let you go, though, and since you've been in camp with Bud, Michael Coppinger of ESPN is reporting that they agreed to the split. Looks like that fight might be happening for 2023. Do you believe it happens? And who you picking?
Absolutely. But I believe it happens 100%. That's something that I feel like both of those guys want. Both of those guys need it for their legacy. We really don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We can make speculations all day, but we already know how boxing works. I feel like both of those guys genuinely want that fight. But I'm biased though. I'm biased, so I'm Bud all day, pound for pound.
And that's because you've been in there.
That's from me being in there, but at the same time, just from me putting the styles together. Bud is a technician. Bud is he's great at making adjustments. I'm Bud all day.
For sure, Champ. Well, we appreciate you giving us the time, man. Look forward to getting you back on.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Contender Samuel Teel, Appreciate him coming on the show. We are talking Errol Spence. Terence Crawford reportedly agreed to split, but Thurman and Roacha still next for each man, which is exactly how I want it. This way, there's no excuses about who's in shape, who's not ready, who needs a tune-up, who been out the ring too long. But you know the number to call, 1425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. I'm going out to Twitter Spaces. Looks like Mr. O'Malley. What up? Yo, yo. You there, champ? Try that one more time. You there? I hear you. I hear you.
Yo.
What's good?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can hear me? You can hear me?
I hear you, brother.
Can you hear me? Alright, cool. Nah, honestly, my opinion, bro, like, on how that fight I feel like it go, man. It could go really either way. I feel like it's Terrence, like dude was saying before, like Terrence able to, you know what I'm saying, adjust to damn near anything. But Terrence get hit a lot too at the same time. Like Terrence get hit a lot. You feel me?
But Earl ain't get a
And
knockout. He got a face breaking. So it's not like if he hit Terrence, he could knock him out. He like it take accumulation.
nah, not even. Like I feel like with Earl's body, you know what I'm saying, his body work, that's where I think you feel me, that could be a problem. I'm not saying that Earl gonna win, but I feel like that's where that'll be a problem for Terence Crawford. Because if you watch the fight with Benavidez hurt Terence Crawford to the body. If you watch the fight close, it's like the third or fourth round. He hurt Benavidez hurt Terence Crawford to the body. And then later on in the fight, he hit him again and hurt Terence Crawford to the body. But Terence Crawford know how to suck it up. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the same time, he know how to adjust. And you feel me? That could be a big factor in the fight. And along with what I said, or if he can really take that body work from Errol Spence, man. Because that's a real 147 pounder, man. Since he was a kid, you feel me? Like 15 years old, he been that size. You know?
Word.
So it's like, man, that's a tough decision. I feel like I low-key want to go with Earl, but, man, it's hard to count Terrence out, you know? Like I say, like, that's what I think it is. And with the Terrence is more crafty, but, you know, Terrence always been the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? The better guy. He ain't never really been in there with a real, like I said, a real live 147 pounder.
I mean, Jeff Horn went all the way up to 160, bruh.
Jeff Horn is a trash box, bro. He don't count, man. I mean, he count, yeah, as a 147 pounder, but not like, I'm talking about like thoroughbred, you feel me?
Bruh, how he don't count? He got a win over Pacquiao, and then he moved up to 60. What about Jose Benavidez? He moved up to 54.
Right, but still, Benavidez had his little bullshit in whatever he had going on.
Mean Machine
That's
is a real welterweight. Mean Machine is a real welterweight.
Mean Machine, I mean, but he's not elite though. He's not a thoroughbred. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
That's what I'm talking about, like a thoroughbred. He ain't fought no thoroughbred 147 pounder yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't fought a thorough 147 pounder yet. He's fought guys that come up in weight. You know what I'm saying? And like these guys that come up in weight and all that, they not Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? They not Canelo. They not that good to play around in these weight classes like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he ain't ever really been. The last time he been in there with somebody that had some real thunder was Yuriakis Gamboa. You feel me? Some real thunder behind their punches was Yuriakis. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I don't think Yuriakis hit as hard as Errol Spence do. You know what I'm saying? We know Yuriakis had pop back then, and he actually hurt Terence Crawford a few times. And Terence Crawford has a tendency to get hit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, at the same time, he's very crafty, and he knows how to adjust. Can he adjust to that power? Can he adjust to a real, live, thoroughbred 147 pounder?
I mean, he adjusted in all his fights, bro. He He the one shows levels, so I'm pretty sure he could do it.
That wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? With guys that don't equate to Errol Spence. I'm not like I know, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to think I'm like holding Errol Spence nuts. Cause Errol Spence definitely get, you know what I'm saying? Like he had problems with Kell Brook. I wish Kell Brook wouldn't have fought Triple G. You know what I'm saying? That fight probably would have went a different way with that Errol Spence Kell Brook fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's another thoroughbred 147 pounder. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he was already broken by the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, but still, that's another thoroughbred, you know what I'm saying, when he was healthy type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I say, Terence Crawford not a thoroughbred 147 pounder, bro. I mean, he's a thoroughbred 147 pounder, but he hasn't been in there with another fresh and healthy thoroughbred 147 pounder. You get what I'm saying?
I hear you,
Real
champ.
talk.
I hear you. I
And
hear
I'm
you.
not trying to like argue nothing, but like I say, the fight could go either way. The only reason I'm saying Errol Spence is because of that. But like I say, I can't count Terence Crawford out. I would love to see Terence win. That's a bad man. His wallet probably say BMF on there, man. Bad motherfucker. You hear me?
Right.
It probably says that shit on there. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, I would like to see that type of, you know what I'm saying, action. You know? Real talk.
Well, all right, champ. Let me get to some other callers. Thank you for calling
Yeah,
in,
go crazy.
Mr. O'Malley. Appreciate you. We going out to the 919 on the check-in. Looking like we got Rob in North Carolina. What up?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What up? What up?
Um, as far as the fight, I think it possibly could happen. I ain't gonna say it's 100%. I think this is a little damage control because nobody really wants the fights that we about to get from them next. And then this thing that's still in question is Errol Spence going up to 54 and coming back down to
Yeah,
47.
that's definitely
I
still in
still
question.
Yeah, that's still like a built-in excuse for the like. You know what I'm saying? If you really want no excuses, everybody good. Like he need to fight Keith at 147. Like that going to 154 is still looking like is y'all just trying to get people to support these fights and think they gonna get that one next? And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He stay at 54 or some shit. Like I hope it ain't no bullshit. Like because this news is coming out like oh they agreed to this. Like all right okay, but the fight do go down. I got Crawford. I don't know. I think Spence. I think he was getting hit a lot in that Ugas fight. I don't like everybody. I know he finished him off, like he hurt him or whatever. But Ugas stopped moving. But them first rounds, I feel like Ugas was like he was boxing him pretty good, giving him a little lesson in there. Like I don't know why he stopped moving like he was and just stood there. But I think that's what I think Crawford gonna do that same thing to him, but I don't think it's gonna stop. And if it do get to a point where he stop moving, shit, like people don't give Crawford credit, man. He's probably if not, he's definitely one of the hardest hitting at 147. I don't know why everybody keep trying to say he ain't this, he ain't. Man, he been knocking his last 10 opponents. Everybody at 147, he fought, he finished. He like Errol Spence, he accumulate punches. Terence Crawford, like he got that sneaky power. Like his shit is he got explosiveness with his punches. You know what I'm saying? Like so he can knock anybody out. So all that like you acting like Errol Spence is the one that's the most big. He's probably the bigger physically, but I think Crawford hit harder, and I think he's been proving that
I mean,
in his career.
he the
Like
one got the 10 knockouts, but Earl did break, Earl broke Brook face and Ugas face.
yeah, but you see how Ugas stood there though?
I mean, that
Like
shit
what was
don't
that?
matter.
Like it got to be
What matters is the
yes, it's fact.
contact
He broke his face.
and what he caused with that contact. That's what I think. You know what I mean?
How you think Earl was looking before that though in the first like 5 rounds?
I mean, that's what they say about the Kelbrook fight. I don't think none of that matter. What matters is the outcome, especially if you end it by
Yeah.
stoppage. Like look at
That's true.
Ryan, right? Ryan got dropped by Campbell, but don't nobody care because he got up and got the knockout.
That's a fact. That was Earl Spence like not first knockout in a while too. Cause he was going 12 rounds with damn near everybody. So I don't know. We'll see. I got Crawford though. If the fight really go down, yeah.
Word, man.
That's all I
Thanks
got.
for calling in. I hope it do go down, man. That's why I'm staying. Look, I honestly thought this fight would happen before Tank and Ryan, and that's happening. So I gotta stay optimistic. I gotta be like, yo, they made that, they gonna make this. And I know some people going, come on, man, you know they made that because there's more money in Tank and Ryan. They got the big, social media following, blah 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 blah. But I'ma still remain optimistic, man. I'ma still remain optimistic. Uh-oh. Shout out SDX Renzi. What up?
Gang! Shout out TBV. What is going on, Ness?
What up, chat?
Nothing much, man. You already know, a good weekend of boxing. Made a little bit of money. We ain't hit all the way, but hey, another week to do it, man. Tony gonna pull something for us this week. But as far as this fight, Ness, you already know I'm with you, man. I'm optimistic. Like we said, we definitely getting Tank and Ryan. So I feel like it's gonna happen when it happen, I feel like it's still a sense of build up for me. I like that they got the two separate fights. Like you said, I don't really like the Errol going up in weight to come back down, but I mean they both got two fights. I feel like those fights will give, even more excitement for when they come back around, because then after they fight, they gonna call each other out or mention it. Of course, they gonna get asked about it, and I feel like it'll just build the hype up again, man. I don't see them doing the fucking Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder thing where they just miss the hype and then fuck around and it dies before it could even happen,
Yeah.
So I feel like they want to catch it. They just want to catch it at the peak. It'd be like stocks be high and everybody like, yeah, let's go for this shit. And then all the little discrepancies come out. And as the clout on it drops or the hype about it drops, then they kind of pull back from it. So I feel like as long as the fans, we keep that shit hype, through these next fights that they have. And then once they try to put it out there again, everybody just stay optimistic behind it and make them give us this fight. I think we'll get it. And if it happens, I'm rocking with Bud. I'm not the biggest Spence fan. I just personally I know Spence is a good fighter. I personally just like to see versatility in boxing, and between Bud and the Boots, and I don't know, I just like switch fighters. So I just feel like, of course, Spence is gonna get some rounds. He's gonna get some rounds. I'll even, in my head now, I'm even gonna possibly give him the first 2 to 4 of the first rounds, to be honest. If he gonna get crazy rounds like that, I see him getting them early. I see Bud just really being patient, and then he gets that fucking equalizer moment where he okay, now I gotta work. You feel me? I feel like that's where Bud to be. He likes to get his back a little bit against the wall, because then that's when he kick in, when he got to face a little bit of adversity and really, all right, let me separate myself. Even if it's an even fight, I feel like second half he's just going to get that equalizer moment where it's just you got to show what makes you better than the next man. And I feel like that's I hope it gives me the Sean Porter fight vibes. Bud versus Sean Porter. Yep. I hope it's like that, where it's just we don't really know where it's going up until when shit really starts to hit the fan. And that's how I hope it happened, where it's just that second half, late rounds in the fight, championship rounds. Bud just lay that shit on them, or they all just go. They go all out. Spence bring his shit too, and somebody just gonna fold. But I really don't wanna say that it won't happen. So. Me, I'm going either. I really want to say Bud by decision, man. I feel like if he can't get a stoppage, he at least gonna drop Spence once. That's what I'm hoping for, and I feel like that's what's gonna really solidify the win for him. A knockdown in between the 8th and the 12th.
So you not mad that Thurman and Roacha are next for each?
Not really, because I really need somebody to get fucking Thurman out the way. I'm tired of even hearing this clown name, bro. I know you like him. I'm not. I told you honestly. I wanted them to feed Thurman the boots, but you ain't never been a fan of that.
Nah.
So I don't even see how Thurman still gets. If we not willing to feed Thurman to boots, I don't even know why we talking about him with these two guys. Like in that, I don't even see how he get to be up there in that bubble with them. You feel me? So to me, it's a tune-up. Not even a tune-up, really. I just don't give Thurman that much. He ain't showed me shit. Like I like active fighters. Thurman give me Ryan Garcia. You feel me? He talk it up. He in the media. He get himself going. But are you gonna fight? You feel me? Like, are you really gonna fight? Do you want to fight? Will you take what they give you? Like, I just want to see him fight. If he fight and show me something, I'm cool. But I ain't gonna lie, Thurman he ain't got it for me. Especially not with no Spence. Spence might stop his ass, to be honest.
Wow.
For real. I ain't feeling him.
Well,
That's your boy though. Ness, you like Thurman?
Hell yeah! You just reminded me to text him.
Yeah, tell him. I'm betting the knockout against him.
Yeah, man.
All right, though. Shout out TBV. That's my call. Ness, I ain't gonna hold you.
SDX Renzi, thanks for calling in. Alabama, stand up. Brandon Hooker, Houston, what up? You sound muffled, champ.
Hello?
I hear you now.
My bad, brother. I was running. I had to stop. Take my elevation,
getting the miles in.
Man, I'm excited about boxing. But anyway, let me say what I gotta say real quick before I start ranting. I'm glad this is agreed to between Thurman and Spence. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Because regardless if Spence fights at 150, right? Let's say he doesn't even knock out Thurman, they go the distance and he wins. But let's say Crawford at 147 stops Roacha, he wins. Then they can still fight at 150 because what's next after that for Crawford is Charlo. So that could be his first fight at 154, get Spence out the way, and then go for the undisputed. You know what I mean? That's how I feel because I think Terence Crawford is the real deal. The first time I ever called in, we was talking about Regis, and somebody asked in the chat if I was related to Maurice Hooker. So I talked to my uncle, and he says he's not too sure about Maurice, but he says he knows, I think one of Terence Crawford's uncles or something like that. They went to, they played ball together in Nebraska State. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. It's a small world. And
hell yeah, that's cool.
Hell yeah, it's real cool, man. So I can't wait to, when this fight goes down, I really see Terence Crawford actually defining modern times what pound for pound is supposed to mean. Ever since Ray Robinson, we haven't had a fighter like actually embody what that means pound for pound, going up in weight or going down, whatever, but always carrying their power, always finishing strong, closing the show. You know what I mean? And that's what Terence Crawford does, man. So I'm behind, I'm Team Crawford, man. So good luck, Spence. Thurman, I'm always going for the underdog too. Thurman might shock people. So, and then hopefully he gets a belt at 147 and can still stick around. I just miss Thurman with the long hair. I feel like
word is born. It's like Samson in the Bible. It's like once he cut the hair, he ain't been the same.
Yeah. So that's my call, Ness, man. I appreciate it, man. Keep up the good work, everybody. Smash the like button.
Appreciate
God
you.
bless.
If you on Blog Talk and you feel like I ain't go to you, that's because you ain't press 1. Go ahead and press 1, and we'll get you on the show. We going out to Jonathan Sims. What up?
Yeah, yo.
Yep.
Hey, Ness. Hey, man. Thanks for another show, dog.
I love this shit.
Really appreciate
Thank you for
really,
calling in. We
really
need the callers.
for sure, for sure. So let me get into my spiel. So first, um, the verse of the day comes from Corinthians 12 through chapter 12, 12 through 30, 27. So that there should be no division in the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. Now you are the body of Christ, and each one of you is part of it. So let's spread love and not hate. We work as one, not as individuals. Now, to the topic. Ness, let me start off by asking you, who wins this fight if they were to fight, Earl or Crawford?
The fight fans.
Huh? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Earl don't even rock with you, so it don't even matter.
The fight
Who?
fans.
Okay. Okay. The fight fans. Um, for me, it's tough, right? And let me start out by saying I am an Earl Spence fanboy. I love the dude as a fighter. I think it's most art when he's in the ring. He's a special kind of guy. Crawford is too, but Earl captivated me first. So I want to start out by saying that first in case there's some biasness in my context. So for me, it just doesn't line up. Earl Spitz gets one fight since his last fight, and Bud gets two. And my whole thing is, when Earl gets his fight with Keith, will that line up to where Bud is fighting so they're right on the same schedule? Will they stagger? Like, how would that look? The other fact is, and that's I'm gonna have to steal something from you from earlier show today when you told Danny, stand for something or fall for anything. So to me, that means principles, morals, values. So the fact that we're still okay with Earl versus Keith, it just mind-boggling.
We
It's
just gotta. I mean,
mind-boggling.
at this point, we just trying to get to the next level, bro.
He's the big fish. He's the big fish.
But
If
but
he's
if he was the big
uh-huh.
fish, he would be having two fights like Crawford and not one.
I thought he was the man. Isn't he
I
the money
mean,
guy?
you
Like,
gotta
isn't there
tell
a
us
long list of people looking
you
to fight him?
you
Boots?
started this
Um,
call off saying that you are Earl Spence guy, so you gotta tell us why he not fighting 3 times a year like Canelo if he's the big boss.
because he's not as in a position like he think he is.
Oh.
And that's just period point blank. These fighters aren't as smart as they think they are. And hell, some of these promoters aren't. When you look at a Fortune 500, 100 company, some of the major sectors in their business is operations and supply chain, finance, and marketing. Marketing is what drives a fighter. Marketing is what drives business. Your brand is how well you market it. They don't even get that part right. So for me, with Earl being the big fish, I just think that's a moniker, but he probably don't even know what that really means. He barely even knows what it takes to put a whole fight together. He admitted that 2 to 3 years ago. So I just
Man,
think
for a
that for
dude
him
to
to say
say
he the,
you a Earl Spence guy, you taking a lot of shots.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
You can't do
And
that.
I'll get
If you a fan, you gotta love blindly.
No, no. That's just like being a Christian and following blindly. I don't go to church and tithe, but that doesn't make me not a Christian. I'm just not about to tithe 10% because you asked for it. You gonna kick me out? Okay then. So my whole point is love the guy Earl. He's a
You're not
phenomenal
a real
fighter, but
Earl
he's not
fan, man.
moving. He's not moving like he said he would move. And personally, at this point, I do have Bud beating him for the simple fact that I think Earl's out of the ring antics have evened the fight out. Whether they're self-inflicted, which people tried to take my head off when I said the car crash was self-inflicted, to this non-stuff that he can't control. He has allowed, in my opinion, for Crawford to catch up to him. I thought he had a huge lead in that fight, but I think he's allowed Crawford to catch up. And I think I'm not gonna say he gets stopped, but I think Crawford beats him. And honestly, Ness, I question how hungry he is at this point in his career. It almost is like he's becoming a Keith, where I feel like even if he was to lose to Bud, he's fine with that because he feels like he solidified his legacy and he's ready to ride off because he got the bag. That's the only thing we care about is a fighter getting the bag. So
Uh.
he's going after the bag. So me personally, I don't even know how hungry he is for this fight, to be honest with you. And like I said, I personally got Bud. I just think at some point your professionalism outside of the ring has to catch up to you. Some people may argue, well, you don't know Bud, you don't know if he drinks, you don't know what he does. It's just that Errol Spence has been in front of the media. His business is out in the media. And that is so true. But part of being a professional, i.e., Derek Jeter, i.e., LeBron James, is keeping your life under wraps and keeping your circle tight. And Earl simply hasn't done that, you guys. I'm not saying Crawford doesn't drink, but Crawford has been nothing but a stand-up citizen as a boxing professional outside of the ring. He had his early career issues, but after that, you don't hear about him getting drunk in the club and then flipping his car 1,000 times. You don't hear about him getting hit again within his car, whether it's his fault or not. Like, you don't hear those things. So you have to allow that to placate in your decision on who wins the fight. If not, hey, to each his own. But I just think, Bud kind of has the lead in this. And, when the values and morals I stand on, Bud should win because he's been a professional in and out the ring. So I'm glad to hear that Earl may not get a fight. I think he needs it because if he doesn't, he for sure will lose. But to fight Keith, it's bittersweet because, like I said, it makes him a liar if he fights Keith. And for all you Earl Spence fans that accept that Keith fight, it just goes to show how gullible and ignorant you guys are because the man said it himself that he would never fight Keith. He even went as far as putting it on his own mama. Then he tried to go after Crawford, telling him he had to be a man of his word and never come to his fights because Crawford said he wouldn't come. So I'm just saying, like, or like you could be a fan of a man, but you can't be a fool. Like, when are we going to hold these guys accountable for what they say and the actions that they expect from other fighters? That's just a little weird to me. But like I said, I favor Bud. I could be wrong because it is a great fight, but I just think Earl has given up the leverage in the fight due to some of the things he's done outside of the ring.
Well, Mr. Sims, I'm going to get to some other callers. Do appreciate you calling in. Davidian, Buffalo Falls, what up?
What's good, Ness? How you doing?
Another day, another podcast.
Yep. Yeah, I heard your show earlier. It was good. Yeah, on this Earl Spence, I'm just glad that they are actually talking.
Exactly.
Behind the scenes. I'm just happy because to me, contrary to popular opinion, I still feel like this is the biggest fight in boxing. I get it, Tank and Ryan. It's gonna be up there. It's gonna do good numbers, but this is still what people, actually all these fights. I'm happy for this year. We getting these fights, but if they negotiating, I'm not mad. I just want to see the two in there. They two of the best. How long has Bud held the WBO or whatever he has? How long has Earl held his belts? They've held them for a while, so.
I mean, Earl less than Crawford, right? Because Earl's been collecting, so, the IBF, he's held it for a long time, but he just got the WBA sometime last year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just want to see him get in there, man.
Let me make sure it was last year, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight. Of course, I love Errol Spence, but I know Bud is a bad dude, too, so it is what it is. I love the fight. I want to see.
Are you okay with the Roacha and the Thurman fight in between? That's what it sounds like we getting, and it is true. Earl was last in the ring April 16th, 2022. So he's coming up on a year out of the ring if he goes one more month.
I mean, I'm not mad, just as long as they get in there, or especially Spence. Like, I just want to see him fight, man. He's one of the best in the game, so. I mean, he brings them out, so shit. I just want to see him get in there. And if it's
I don't know,
Thurman,
man. I'm gonna be real. I just think that Earl don't got the same hunger. Like Danny Garcia was 2 division at 27. He was already 2 division, one time unified, and yeah, he didn't undispute at 140, but everybody knew he was undisputed.
He was the best.
There
yeah.
was no
He was
dispute
really
that he
good
was
at
the
140.
fucking man. There was no
Yeah.
dispute he was the
Yeah.
man. He moved up because there was no one
Yeah.
else to beat.
Of
Like
course.
Victor Poster was nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
then he went up and at
Yeah.
27 won a world title at welterweight. Like Earl is what
33.
33.
Just turned 33.
33. He's a one division champ, man. At least Crawford's a 3 times champ, right? He fought at 35, 40, 47. And he's
I mean,
undisputed.
truthfully, only time will tell, though. You know, I mean, I'm not happy. I wish he was in the ring sooner, but hey, it's not my career. I don't really know what to say. You know, I just want to see the man fight.
I hear you for sure, man. Let me get to this brand new caller, Davidian. I appreciate
All right.
you.
See you.
Maryland,
Peace.
D.C. area. Who's this? 202. Who's this?
This is Gary, man. It's G.
Gary Russell?
Nah, man, from DC too, man. Hey, and I just had a son. His name Gary Jr., man. But nah, we know related. We ain't related.
All right, well, talk to us, Gary.
Hey, look, man, we heavy in the boxing ourselves, man. I got nephews. We do this thing, man. I don't know what people see. Earl drinking, he car crashing. Meanwhile, this boy Terence in the gym consistently, man. I'm on IG. I see him working on YouTube. The boy working, man. I just don't see what people see that's going to give Earl the advantage. And then he coming down from a weight cut if this do happen. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, man.
I really don't get what people seeing, man. And Earl, he tough, man. He's a champion, man. But all of a sudden, I'm seeing this new narrative. You got Boots coming to get Terence like Terence food.
What?
Who
said?
Boots not ready?
Who said Boots coming to get Terence? I ain't see that. Where that's at?
No. That's the narrative I'm seeing nowadays. Like people was pushing Boots toward Terence like they should fight, or Terence should fight. You know, these prospects or these up and coming dudes, like, come on, man, like the Virgil Ortiz kid. Come on, man. Terence to eat these kids.
I mean, if he can't get Earl, I don't mind Virgil.
I don't either. I'm not gonna lie.
And listen, he could be B-Hop. He got 10 knockouts right now. He could be Gennady. He got to change his goal. Like if Earl don't want to undispute, well, fuck it. Beat Gennady's record of 20 title defenses, or B-Hop's 20 title, or whoever got the knockout ratio. Like my man got 10 straight knockouts. Start going for that. Like get a new goal.
And I completely agree with you, and not like to ride nobody nuts or nothing like that. But I figure that's kind of what Terence be feeling, man. It's like he want to go for Charlo.
I already told him, honestly, I don't know how long you've been listening, but I already told him what to do. And I know he heard it because we talked to the president of the WBO that day. We had an interview with Paco Varacasel, who is the president of Terence Belt. And I asked the president, would he approve if Terence asked to fight Jermell Charlo? And he said, hell yeah. So Terence sitting on his hands. All he got to do is petition, get that okay. Fight Charlo at 54. You don't need Earl. You don't need Earl. You the super champ. You can elevate yourself and go get all the belts from Jermell. You said you wanted that fight. You called him a cheerleader. You said you could beat him. I want to see it.
I'm with you. I want to see it. I'm a fan of the sport. I love these guys. I respect their craft. I love what they do. Man, I love how Crawford finishes shit. He remind me of the Emmanuel Stewart style. Like, fuck the call, fuck the decision. And then the boy is moving up, and he's continuing to do shit like that. So I'm loving it. But, yeah, I'm like you, man. I want to see some fireworks. I love Jermell. I want to see Jermell and Bud go, man. That's fireworks to me. That's a better fight.
I can't imagine that press conference. That shit would be amazing, that press conference. That press conference would be amazing.
I
Man,
can't wait.
That's what people want to see.
I just hope it
agree with
happens because now Crawford is 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like they waiting him out. They waiting him out. He could have been fought Earl and been moved up and fought Jamel. And really that's how he make the fight. If you just activate your super champion clause and fight Jamel, what's Earl gonna do now? What are he gonna do now? He gonna have to fight you. He gonna have to fight you.
You box them up. That's what you do. You put them in a corner. You box them up, man. Because at this point, I feel like it's getting ridiculous. And if Terence, the dog we say he is, well, I think he is. I think the boy a straight dog. Man, let's get active, Terence. Let's get really live. Get on these boys' line, man. Because they can't run from you. I to be honest, like I said, man, I'm gonna let y'all go. But I love that Jamel versus Bud more than that Earl fight, man. I think he gonna finish Earl, man. I love Earl. Earl's strong, but Earl, he don't, man, damn what? He ain't did that in a while. I don't.
I mean, technically, he stopped Ugas, man. He broke his face.
Yeah, I feel you. I give you that one. But come on, man, that boy was like a robot. I don't know what's wrong. My son moved better than that. That's crazy, man.
I mean, he the one outside of the African kid. He the only dude that hurt Spence.
You got a point, but I don't even think he hurt Spence. I really think that was just a balance type of thing, if you ask me.
Mouthpiece type of thing, too?
Say it again?
What about that mouthpiece flying out?
Yeah, contact and all that, but if you're not paying attention, come on now. I'm in the gym every day. Like that looked more like a balance shot to me. The boy didn't need no time to recover or nothing, man. I'm just saying, like, if Terence would have caught him with Boots would have caught him with some shit like that, they would have finished that. They would have finished that, man. There's levels to this shit.
For sure.
You gotta have a little bit of that dog in you.
Well, Gary, we do appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you. We got you locked in. Next time you call, we will address you by name, and we appreciate your call. We going out to New York City. 347. Who we got? Let me see. Who's in New York? Uh-oh, I got some super chats coming in. And this looks like Mike in Queens. Mike, give me 1 second. Let me get to some of these super chats. We got James Benitez with the $2 super chat. He says, only fight Montana should pursue is A.B., Adrian Broner. Sounds like a plan. Not bad, not bad. Jonathan Sims, $5 super chat says, Mel is allowed to fight Bud before EJ per EJ. So don't matter what the bodies say. EJ said no. So that means Mel would drop the belts per EJ's demand. I mean, I hear you, but Earl ain't got nothing to do with what the sanctioning bodies order. And Jamel would have to drop the belt, and public perception would not be good of him. It would not look good on him. But we'll see, because maybe Bud ain't even going that route. He still should have sent the letter so that the news cycle, the journalists is talking about it, and the pressure is on. I would have at least sent the letter activating the fucking clause. Mike in Queens, talk to me.
Shout out TBV, that's what's good.
What up?
And shit, I like that last conversation you just had with that caller, man. Because, I feel like we've been here before. You know what I mean? You don't hear nothing from Errol. He's dead silent. Like, we've been here before, man. This guy playing with our emotions.
Word.
But Bud needs to activate that fight, like you said, man. Yeah, you stand on that one. Keep standing on it. Bud should listen. Go get Charlo, man. Errol,
right, and this the perfect time. Let me tell you. This the perfect time. If he put the letter in right now, Zoo is busy with Harrison and needs to recover. No matter who wins that fight, they need to recover no matter what. It don't matter. Yo, boxing ain't never treat us that good that Zoo and Harrison would fight next week and the winners fighting Jamel in 90 days. That shit, boxing never did that. Boxing never did that.
Man,
So
yo.
if
Hey,
Terrence put that
you
letter in
gotta
right
stand
now,
on that.
if Terrence put that letter in right now, man, he could get that fight by August, June, July, no doubt. No, and guess what? It's better for him because Jamel coming off an injury and he forced to fight Terrence. No tune-ups, no rinky-dinks. You got to defend your belt.
No, facts, man. And you know, I'm getting past this Errol Spence, man. You know, I don't know, man, 154 with the titles, you're fucking up the game, bro. Come on. Bud needs to move forward, man. He got a lot of room, you know. He probably going, but let me ask you, Ness, if he do activate that, what's up with the 20 days notice for Roacha?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Roacha fight, they negotiating, so he probably going to end up doing that. But he could still do like Billy Joe. I mean, like Andre, where he could activate it, not fight Roacha, let Roacha fight an eliminator for an interim with someone else, actually move up, win or lose, then announce I'm vacating my 147 or I'm coming back down. Because remember, Ray Vargas just did it. No, I'm giving you facts. Ray Vargas just moved up to fight Oshaki, lost, and he got his belt back at 126. He's sitting in the audience watching Brandon Figueroa. So, you know, Bud could do this. Bud could do this.
You be on it, bro. You be on it. You got me rolling, man. Keep that shit going, bro. You know, and shout out to the truck drivers, man, all up to 95, you know.
Let's go, champ.
Man.
Without Chad, we don't get nothing.
Shout out to TBV.
Let's go.
You know, keep stepping on their head, man. We bypassing Errol, man. He needs to go sit down, bro. Get into a car crash or something.
Nah, not that serious. Chill, champ. Not like that.
You know, I'm just freestyling.
I hear you. It's all good.
You know, we over hills with this, man. They playing with our emotions, man. Word. You hold it down, though, and keep that movement, man. TBV, bro. TBV.
Appreciate you, champ. Queen, stand up. Looks like we got Free Smoke the one.
Yo.
Free Smoke.
What's going on, man? I ain't got too much to say, man. I just wanted to say, man, I hear everybody beating up on my boy Earl, so I'm an Earl fan, man. I don't think Crawford got what it takes to sustain what this guy gonna bring. So nobody ever punished him like Earl gonna punish him. That is what it is. That's what I think. It's my opinion. That's my take on it.
All right, champ. Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. Free Smoke. We going out to Jay Ortiz. What up?
Yo, Mr. Gibbs, can you hear me?
What's up? I hear you.
Hi, yeah, Spence, Crawford. Man, these two like to play with our emotions, don't they?
Every caller saying the same thing, bro.
Yeah. No, I've been thinking of it too. I was gonna say it, but yeah, man, shit, I don't know if anyone's gonna agree with me, but shit, fuck the tune-ups, fuck Roacha, fuck Thurman. With all due respect, this fight's gonna happen. You know, this fight's been marinating too long, man. It's gonna happen. I mean, these guys are already getting old, especially Crawford, man. What, he's like 35, right?
35, 35.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, fuck the two-ons. I mean, it's not like Spence has been inactive. I mean, he fought last year, but that's...
I mean, remember, according to Spence, he needs this because of the accident. Remember, he said, I was going to announce a fight, but then the accident happened, so that had to get pushed back.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, it didn't look like, I seen the accident stuff, but he wasn't really injured, was he? I mean, I remember he was like talking shit.
I mean, people made it seem like he wasn't in fight shape. You know, he looked a little healthy.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess that. But in terms of like,
in 1 month, he would have been out the ring an entire year. In 1 month, he last fought April 16th when he beat Ugas at the AT&T Stadium.
Gotcha. And okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see why, yeah. But I mean, at least Crawford. I mean, I feel like he should be ready to go. But like I said, man, this fight's been like dangling in front of our faces for too long. These guys have got to fight already. I mean, if it doesn't happen this year, I mean, when? You know what I mean? I mean, these
I
guys
mean,
have
that's
been
what the
trying to be
report is, though. The report is that, you know, they've agreed to the split. They're directly talking to one another. Remember, at one point, Crawford said he couldn't even talk to Earl, couldn't get him on the phone. So now they talking to one another directly. They've agreed to the split. It looks like they both gonna go with their respected, you know, next fights of Roacha and Thurman, and then we should get it at the end of not the end, but in 2023 is what Coppinger is saying. Hopefully we getting that exactly, you know, next. But it will still be like September. I don't know. I think I see the earliest being September, right? Like I don't how if Keith and Earl fighting in like May, June, end of May, early June, you know, and you gotta hope Crawford gonna get one in like July or June. And then they gotta rest up, do promotions. It's gotta be like July. I mean, it's gotta be like September, November fight, October, something like that.
Yeah, see what you're saying. I mean, yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I'm not even believing. I'm not even like, I mean, not that I'm trying to be negative, but I ain't gonna believe this fight happened until, not even when the contract signed, man. Until like these two stepped in the goddamn ring. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Only reason I'm optimistic is because honestly, Ryan, he never fought nobody. Like, yeah, he fought, you know, Campbell, Javier Fortuna, couple people, but like nobody the level of Tank and Pacquiao and Devin and all the names that he was calling out. He was calling
that Luke
out only
Campbell win,
top
that was
names. Yeah, but Luke Campbell, come on, man. I mean, you know, that wasn't like a world beater. That wasn't somebody we was thinking was going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm trying to say is that I didn't think that shit would get done, and it got done, bro. And that's two different networks. You got a free agent on your hands right now. Like, they got to make this happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, back to Luke Campbell. Like, the only thing that impresses me from Ryan, I mean, Luke Campbell might not be the elite of the elite, but I was really surprised that Ryan was able to knock him out. And Lomachenko and fought Linares, right? They went to the distance. So I give him full credit for that. Campbell, that was a solid win. So that's
Very true. Very true.
That's when I started to take Ryan seriously. Like, I didn't think Ryan was all that, but no, he's for sure like.
But
I mean,
at the end of the day, Luke Campbell wasn't a champ, bro. You know, he still was just another contender. That's like Frank Martin beating Michelle Rivera. At the end of the day, that's all Ryan did.
No, yeah, for sure. Like I said, never thought he was the elite top of the division, but just the fact that he was able to knock him out, and you know.
And again, I only say that to say, like, you know, look, he's taken a huge step up to Tank. So that shows me that if Ryan's doing that, yeah, man, these guys should be able to get it together without a problem.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, if anything, like Spence, Crawford, they should be not ashamed of themselves, but like, come on, man, like these fights are happening now, and these guys weren't able to get it, you know, something done. Like, if anything, these guys were supposed to be like the start of this, you know, big fight era, not
man,
boxing era. Like,
yep,
so,
not the young guys, man.
man.
That's what I'm saying. If someone would have said 50-50 bet, what fight gets made first? Tank Ryan, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. I would have said Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, never Tank Ryan. I would have just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit came out of left field. But listen, let me get to some other callers. I got plenty of people here. Jay Ortiz, we appreciate you. Yeah. We going out to Boxing Savant. What up?
Oh.
Yo.
You hear me?
Perfect. Y'all notice I don't have no Discord issues in my Florida studio, man. This Mac I got is the most powerful bitch in the planet. Boxing Savant.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. We just waiting for you to keep it going.
Damn, I can't hear nothing.
Why? We hear you perfectly. Jump out and jump back in, champ. We're going to go on to the Knicks. JT, I see you raising your hand in and out. Let me know what's up on Blog Talk. If you feel like I ain't get you, that's because you haven't pressed 1. I need you to press 1 time. I see a lot of you on Blog Talk. This is your message. Press the 1 button. We're going out to Gabiku.
Here, what's going on, champ?
What up, champ?
What's going on? Yeah, man, this is getting interesting, but like I rather see honestly, I'd rather see Crawford fight Ugas over Rocha, and I'd rather have Rocha fight the winner between Stanius and Ortiz, and then have that matchup build up from there to actually because Rocha really hasn't really fought nobody besides Blair Cobb. You know, that was just like kind of his most like significant win, and Blair Cobb is really a nobody. But that, I mean, it's getting ridiculous already with this whole back and forth between Spence and Crawford. You know, like I mean, that's the fight that everybody wants to see. But if we're gonna do it that way, and we're gonna do Spence, Thurman, Crawford, and Rocha, we might as well do Crawford and Ugas. You know, and then feed Rocha to the winner of Ortiz and
You don't
Stanius. Is
think
that
you rather see Ugas right off of the face breaking 1 year layoff, get in there with Crawford, no tune up? He need like a Cody Crowley or some shit.
I could see that too. Feed him to Jamal James or somebody. But I mean, I, I mean, it's money, right? I mean, we had Danny Garcia and Spence right after that big accident. So I mean, why not? You know.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
Spence, he built different. He said no tune ups.
No, I get it, but you know, like I said, I mean, it's a better fight. It's gonna pull out the audience. You know, you get a Crawford and a Ugas in there. That's gonna bring money. You know, you get a Rocha. Rocha's just starting to make a name for himself. You know, and I feel like if they put him versus the winner of Ortiz and Stanius, if that fight's still happening, right?
Yeah, that's on. That's on. I got
Yeah.
tickets selling and everything. You talking about Virgil and
So,
Stanonis?
so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
if,
yeah.
if that if you feed that, I know that's supposed to be an automatic. Whoever wins that fight is supposed to be the automatic to the winner between Spence or and Crawford, or just for that to fight Spence. But I mean, if you feed a Rocha to them, I don't want to say feed, but you know, you get that fight going on. I feel like that'll be a nice fight for Rocha to kind of solidify that he is who he is, you know, instead of, you know, feeding a Crawford to Rocha and then Crawford destroys Rocha,
Is that
and then
Rocha's
where does
ranked where
Rocha go
he's
from there?
ranked, man? He's ranked where he's ranked. He gonna have to do a Virgil and not accept his ranking, then that's different.
Yeah, no, I get that, but you know, hey, listen, if he's smart, he'll do it that way. I get he's ranked number one, and I get that that's what's going to happen. You know, and hey, listen, you know, when you got a chance you got opportunity at the title, you got to take it. You know, but as far as like we're talking about box numbers and box office and money wise, like that's the big thing now is everybody wants the money. Give me the payday. Give me the payday. The payday wouldn't be with Rocha. The payday would be with Ugas. You know, that would to me that's more of an appealing fight. You know,
I don't know, man. What's the appeal in Ugas? Did he beat old Pacquiao and lost to Earl? Like, I mean, he don't speak English. He ain't very popular. It ain't like he be selling out in his hometown. I don't really know what's the appeal.
stylistically, it'll be a better matchup. I mean, I think you know you get you got a guy that is long, rangy. You know, those are the type of guys that Crawford likes.
Man,
You know,
I
and
think
Crawford
I
turn
think
that bang.
Crawford, like not to diminish your opinion, but I think Crawford would like uppercut Ugas to death, man. He leans over.
Hey,
He's always doing these shovel uppercuts with his head down, man. He would get
hmm
laced, man. But I mean, look, I'm
I
gonna
get it.
watch it. He's still a top 5, top 10 versus a champ. I'm gonna watch it. I'm tuning in.
Absolutely. I mean, regardless, we're gonna watch it. Like you said, regardless, you're gonna watch it just because you know it's a fight. We want to see these guys fight. You know, Crawford and Spence, like they
But they
just holding up
PBC should have been offered him that. They should have offered him a 2-3 fight deal like Ugas,
yeah, yeah.
Thurman, then Earl. But they ain't do none of that, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, because honestly, these guys should be fighting regardless of what it is, but they chasing the money too much, and they're holding out one time a year, thinking they superstardom, and they still haven't really done nothing. And I mean, besides Crawford, because Crawford has unified the division, and not unified, undisputed. You know, the 140. But like, you really haven't done anything else besides that. You know, these fighters that's on your belt hasn't. You really don't have no strong names on your belt. You know. And like you said, man, the big fights, man, people want to see big fights. People want to see the best fight the best. And if that's not happening, then why are we sitting here, you know, waiting once a year only for you to fight in a mediocre, you know, top 10 fighter, you know? Like a Thurman, you know, Thurman just coming back, and that's not the best fight for you. You should be
Nah,
fighting
it's
somebody
not.
different.
Both of them dudes should
So,
be fighting each other, and both of the opponents should be fighting each other. Copy, cool. Let me get to some other callers, though. Do appreciate you. We got a brand new caller, San Antonio. Who's this?
Yo, can you hear me?
I do. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? It's Brandon from San Antonio, 210 Boxing TV.
Brandon, 210 Boxing TV on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, champ. Talk to us.
Shit, with this Thurman Spence, as long as I feel like they actually put something to paper where, okay, they're going to take the interim fight, but they're going to fight next, I don't got no problem with that. It's like with Ryan and Tank. They did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Tank was going to fight Hector, and then Ryan was supposedly going to fight Gesta, and then he scratched. But they're fighting. Everyone was like, oh, no, they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. I kept telling everyone, they're going to fight. Like, they're going to fight. You know, and I just feel like a lot of times I understand, like, you know, people get turned off, and, you know, and I'm the same way. I thought November 19th, Spence and Crawford last year was finally going to happen. Because I was like, yo, it's marinated long enough. This is the time that it finally has to happen. And then, you know, Black Prime came out of nowhere, you know, a company I never even heard of. You know what I mean? I'm just holding out hope. I feel like if they're saying they're agreeing to the split, that's a good thing, because with Thurman and Spence not being announced and them being quiet, I felt like that was a good thing. That was a good thing. Get it done. Just stop with the whole this guy's ducking, that guy's ducking. Just get it done. I'm cool with them having interim fight each. Got no problem with that.
Well, all right, champ. Appreciate you calling in. I got you down, and we will call you and address you by name on the next time. So shout out Brandon from 210 Boxing TV. We got a new caller in Chicago. Who's this?
Hey, what's happening? This is Rob.
Rob in Chicago?
Yes, sir. What's up, Ness?
Talk to me.
Shout out to the TVV in the universe. Man, I've been listening to everybody, all the callers, man, and I'm really disappointed in a lot of things I've been hearing.
What
I've
exactly?
been hearing a lot of things. Well, it seems like it's a lot of fans, a lot of people calling in Earl bashing. You know, I'm a fan of Earl Spence, and I'm a fan of Bud, but people don't seem, they have like short memory. You know, when the Ugas, when Bud had, you know, when he was undisputed, he could have went the route and fought Spence for the IBF belt. He didn't have to go to the WBO route. He could have did that. Am I correct?
Say again. I'm sorry.
He could have went the IBF route instead of WBO route and fought Spence a long time ago when he was undisputed at 140.
You mean Bud?
Terence Crawford. Yeah,
No, because that belt doesn't allow you to activate any super champion clause and fight the champion above. Only the WBC and the WBO do that.
Okay. Well, I personally feel like, everybody's talking about they chasing bags and things of that nature, and they don't really know the severity of what's really going on. I think these guys, they generally want to fight, but I believe that Bud is just trying to secure his future. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he wants to come out on top. I mean, when I look at Bud training right now, he's training with Snack, and he's wearing that mask. I've never seen Bud in his entire career wear that mask during training. Okay? So Bud is trying to find an edge. And since EJ has, since the accident with EJ, he's a more focused EJ. This is a dangerous EJ. See, the EJ prior to the accident was the EJ Bud wanted to fight. But this EJ, that's a more dangerous EJ, Bud has some concerns, and rightfully so. I would be concerned the way Spence has been moving, the way he's been cracking people and breaking their faces and ribs. I would be concerned as well if I was Bud. He don't want this to be his last fight against EJ because it's going to be a real tough fight. And EJ, his defense is the fighters that Bud fought, we went 10 knockouts with, they don't have the defense that EJ got. They don't have that. They don't have the IQ that EJ has. And I believe Spence would have stopped those same 10 opponents, with the exception of Sean Porter, because that was before the accident. That was before a focused EJ, and he even admitted he wasn't as focused. When he fought Porter, when he fought Mikey Garcia, he wasn't dedicated like he is now. So these are the concerns of Bud Crawford. And this is why I believe, in a sense, Bud is kind of...
But what makes you believe Bud is concerned about that? What makes you believe that?
Because Earl's been cracking. Look what he did to Ugas. Bud could have fought Ugas a long time ago. He never fought Ugas.
Okay, but what makes you believe that Bud is concerned with what Earl's been doing?
How he's training now, how he's wearing the mask. He's trying to find an edge. He's trying to find something to get him to get him a more of an edge for this fight.
But you don't think that his edge is that he's on a 10-fight knockout streak?
No, because I believe EJ could knock those same opponents out as well.
Bro, you can't. Let me tell you something.
Well.
You can't name another fighter on this level. No other fighter that's a multiple division champ, a pound for pound fighter, anything you want to mention, a top 5, whatever you want to mention, top 5 in any sanctioning body, a world champ. It don't matter what you mention. No one exists other than Bud. There's no other boxer that's a world champ that's on a 10-fight knockout streak. You could try and diminish that all you want.
But name the opponents, though, Ness.
Virgil Ortiz got like 19, and oh shit, you know who is on it? Damn it. Better Beef. Motherfucker been knocking motherfuckers out every belt he got. But so yeah. He about the only one. Better Beef. Arthur Better Beef, the light heavyweight champ.
Beef, yeah. Oh yeah.
But other than that, and you know, ain't nobody else doing it. Not no other world champ. Ain't nobody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to think about Virgil, who's a contender, interim. I mean, I don't even know what is he? Oceania, WBO Oceania, some shit. I don't know.
That being said, Ness, I bet you when Better Beef fight Bivol, it ain't gonna be the same as all he got with them other fighters.
Man, I don't know that Better Beef don't knock out Bivol.
I don't think he's gonna knock out Bivol.
Bruh, he done fought everybody though. Everybody he fought, he showed his power is real. He just keeps showing
it. His real, but he hasn't fought a boxer like Bivol.
You right. He ain't really fight nobody long. Well, he did fight an Olympian and a boxer. Vazdek was a boxer. It's hard to box with a dude that got motherfucking iron fists, man. Eventually that shit wear on you. Think about Vazdek. Motherfucker retired after that fight. But listen, I gotta go.
True.
I do rock with you. Thanks for calling in. Let me see. Make sure I got your name. Don't go nowhere. We said you in the 872. Rob in Chicago, we got you, champ. Thanks for calling in. Anybody else on Blog Talk, if you feel like I ain't get to you, that's because you ain't press 1. Got to press 1 if you want to have some fun. We going out to Mavi. What up? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button, as it's going to help with the visibility of the show. It's going to put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans. And then luckily we'll get new callers and new characters. Mavi, what up?
Hey, what's good, Ness?
What up, champ?
So the last caller is delusional as hell. Just want to say that. Respect to my man, but he a little delusional. Because everybody knows, even when Bud was coming up, what did Spence and Keith Thurman tell him? Get a belt first. So everybody want to be like, Bud could have went this route. They told the man to get a belt first. And then on top of that, everybody was chasing Jeff Horn before that. But when Bud got the WBO, now nobody want the WBO.
That's true.
So it's wild that people, they don't follow the timeline in chronological order to dissect how everything is played out. I don't get how people give Earl so much credit, and he fought a bunch of lightweights and dudes that did nothing at 147. But then people want to ask, what did Bud do at 147? He been KOing people.
Porter's a two-time world champion.
For sure.
Brooke beat Porter, and
For sure.
And Ugas beat Pacquiao.
For sure. If we want to do the triangle theory, that's cool. Styles make fights though, and I just feel like
that's not triangle. That's like Porter is a two-time champion. He was the IBF champ, then he became the WBC champ.
Definitely.
So you got to give Earl credit for beating Porter. Then you
I'm
got
not
to
taking away.
You got to give Earl credit for beating Brooke, because Brooke beat Porter for that belt. Came to America.
Now that one is
what he came to America and beat him for it.
But see, look, that's a wobbler for me, only because Kell Brook just got done coming down 2 weight classes and getting beat up on by Triple G.
Okay.
And had no rehydration clause when he fought Earl.
Okay.
So my man is getting drained and just got his face broke by one of the hardest punchers in boxing, just to come down 2 weight classes, not be able to rehydrate, and then have to fight Earl.
What about Porter? There's no excuse.
I give him credit for Porter. I give him 100% credit for Porter.
So then what about Ugas? No excuse there. My man beat Pacquiao.
Yeah, but he went the distance with Sean or whatever. Like
people thought he beat Sean.
To me, they did, but it's like he's a journeyman. It ain't. I don't see Ugas as a super credible type of fighter. I really don't. I think he's good.
Champ. He was literally the super champ.
Look, Ness, I think he's good. I'm not saying that, but do I think he's on the level of Earl and Crawford or even they want to give him credit for beating up Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia?
Earl.
Yeah, but that was miscommunication. That was during a breakup. The refs kind of messed that up too. Like it was like it reminded me. No, look, check this out, Ness. Check this out. It reminded me of when Victor Ortiz and Mayweather fought, and the ref was like, "Break it up," and then Mayweather's like, "Nah, forget that next hug. I'm about to knock you out." Boom, boom. It was like one dude was ready and the other one wasn't. So I mean, to me. This is my thing. Let me just round it up because I ain't trying to take too much of your time, my brother. My whole thing is this. People need to stop downplaying Crawford like he ain't like that. The man got shot in the head. His journey all the way up to this point has been nothing but a struggle. He took hella pay cuts with Bob Arum on the way up. So for people to say Crawford's not business savvy, the man is in a movie. He's lining himself up with people like Warren Buffett and 50 Cent and Jay-Z. Like, y'all gonna say this man ain't business savvy and he's the highest earning welterweight in the division? Like, stuff don't make sense, the stuff that people be talking about Crawford. And I think there's a crazy misconception. You can't tell me that man don't speak what he stand on. Like, he's just that type of dude. His whole demeanor is like that. Nothing against Earl, but Earl wants to claim to be a boss, but then has another man speaking for him or making his moves for him. I give respect to Earl. I think he's one of the top 5 best fighters in boxing, but the way he moves is funny to me sometimes. And I think a lot of people get it twisted and they follow wrong narratives listening to these other boxing channels. I'll give credit to you and a couple other channels because y'all actually follow truth. Y'all keep shit dated and y'all keep it on point. Y'all can't tell me Mr. Nebraska ain't about what he's about. He wants all the smoke. He's been wanting all the smoke. Earl didn't call him out first. Bud is the one showing up. Why is Earl coming to my fights? He said he would never come to my fights. Like you know what I'm saying? It's the narrative is crazy for Crawford, and the Bud slander just needs to stop. Y'all need to go back a couple years and follow the timeline in order, so that way y'all get up on y'all shit. And that's my time. I appreciate you, Ness.
I appreciate you calling in, Mavi. We got a couple new callers. We going out to Chicago. Who's this?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's your name?
My name is Lucian. Lucien. Yeah, so basically what I want to talk about is, everybody they want to talk about like resumes. Spence is being fed the same style. They have good names, but he not learning nothing. They either stand right in front of you or they have a glaring weakness. If he fight Keith Thurman,
What you mean, Grim Reaper? What you mean, Grim Reaper?
No, I said Keith Thurman can't take body shots.
But what about Porter? Porter don't stand in front of you.
Yeah, but Porter, he makes so many mental lapses in a fight. And don't get me wrong, Porter is a great fighter. He will test you. But when you look at Bud done seen every style, and he know what it's like to stand across the ring against somebody who's undefeated, who's never lost. Spence, he gets good names. He gets great names, but they all either at some point, once they realize they can't beat him, oh, it's a mental victory. Let me survive. Let me just say I went 12 rounds with him. Bud is too competitive to ever give somebody an edge like that. The fight is not going to even start until Bud gets hit with a good shot, and we all know this. He going to stop Earl. And the reason why he's going to stop Earl is because Earl can't come out and be a different fighter every round. He can't. He gonna get behind that jab, and he gonna throw body shots. But the body shots won't be there. Find me a fight where Earl won without body shots. You won't find that. If you think Terence is going to stand in front of him and just let him hit his body, that's not never going to happen. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
All right, champ. Well, great call. We got you down, Lucian. We gonna go to you. We going out to Discord. We got JT, Coach JT. What up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, what up, Ness? All these predictions. Man, I just want to see the fight. I'm here listening to some of these callers call in talking about Errol get hit. Bud is not gonna get hit by body shots. If he stand in front of Bud, if he stand in front of Errol, he's gonna get hit with body shots. And another caller said, well, I'm trying to sit back. That's why I kept going in and out. I'm like, man, I'm not even respond to that. But the thing about it, it's a 50-50 fight. Respect to Errol and Bud. They're both good fighters. But we seen Bud hurt people that, to me, after he hurt you, he took the fight out you. We ain't seen no more dog out these fighters, including Sean Porter. The fight got stopped premature because of his dad. But, at the end of the day, that's what we want to see Spence for. We seen Spence mouthpiece come out, and then he stopped somebody after that happened. So we want to see the two best fighters fight the best, and that's what we've been waiting on with Errol Spence and Bud. I could sit here and predict that, hey, Bud not gonna beat him if he fight him in the southpaw stance. He might have a better chance of defeating Errol in the orthodox stance. We could go back and forth and sit there and say this and that about it, but these are the best two fighters in the division. I got Spence winning off of my picks, off of what I see, and even though Bud could switch and do all that, I'm not caught into all that. Even though he got more skill set of switching and counter punching and doing all this, to me, Errol just fundamentally basic skill sound, and I think that's what's gonna win the fight. And on top of that, we go off the fights. I think Bud get hit more than Errol. A lot of people talk about Errol defense. Errol don't get hit as much as Bud does. So the guy that just called and just said that he gonna knock Errol out, Bud gotta be willing to take some of them shots, take some of them body shots. Beginning, because Sean was giving Bud trouble when he was coming forward in the beginning of that fight. So man, I'm just waiting to see the fight. I hope the fight happened. I got Spence winning. Got to pick a winner. I like both fighters, and I like to see both fighters fight. But I got Spence winning that fight, and that's my call.
All right, Coach JT, thank you for calling in. I got a couple super chats. Got a big fat $20 $5 super chat. Shout out to Optimus Prime. He sends a $20 super chat and says, Ness is the hardest working man in boxing media. Shout out to you, champ, but I'm sure Ellie works hard as fuck. And Ben Thompson. Shout out to Ben on Fight Hype. Jaime Nieto with the $5 super chat says, until this Bud Spence fight is signed and we see a press conference, I don't want to hear about it. Enough is enough. Not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Damn. We got a couple brand new callers. Looks like somebody in Anaheim. Who's this? Is it Anaheim? Somewhere in California, right? What's your name, champ? Who's this? Who's this? 714? Hello. Hello. 714, going once. 714, going twice. We out. Lynch, what up? In Sacramento.
Man. I'm just listening to y'all. You know, I'm a real boxing fan. I really follow this sport. I ain't challenging nobody, saying people ain't real boxing fans. But, you know, I watch this like you, bro. And I want to know to everybody, and I'm not on anybody's side. I just got a question, bro. I want to know why everybody's ignoring the fact that Terence Crawford was a free agent for a little bit, and then he re-signed with Top Rank in 2019.
I mean, because that's old news.
Yeah, I understand that, but everybody's right now making it seem like all this big talk for Crawford now that he's finally a free agent. You feel me? That he had an opportunity to come to the PBC and fight all those guys.
Yeah, because after that is when the whole across the street started. So now he's not across the street. So we just don't talk about that no more because, you know, that's why they started saying, well, he across the street.
I got you, bro. So like everybody else said, I really do believe it's a 50-50 fight. If they fight, I'm not surprised who wins. But I am going to say I think Earl's going to win. And the reason why I think Earl's going to win is because he's simply bigger than him. And I think when they actually start the fight, it's going to be one of those equations. You know what I mean? He's fucking bigger than Crawford. Crawford's a great fighter, does a lot of great stuff, but I am kind of in agreement with a lot of people when they ask the general question, like, okay, yeah, he beat a lot of people. He got 10 straight knockouts, but it's like we can't sit here and discredit Errol Spence opponents like Crawford's opponents were all better than Errol Spence opponents. And that's what's kind of bothering me. Like, I was listening to you.
But it's just...
When you brought up,
Earl fought champions. But you can't discredit Crawford getting 10 straight knockouts.
Yeah, I hear you, and that's why I ain't discrediting him there. But I'm listening to how everybody else is trying to pick Earl's record apart, like it's really that much worse. And it's like I remember a point listening to Bomac talk about how Ugas was a dangerous person, and Ugas beat Crawford when they was younger, as far as amateurs, you know. So they already knew about Ugas, and on a real note, I'm not saying they swerved him or nothing, but they knew who Ugas was. They were aware Ugas was a good fighter. So when you was asking earlier what makes Crawford concerned, it's like he fucking broke Ugas' face, y'all. That was a crazy ass fight, bro. I ain't never seen nobody.
But why would I be worried about you getting one face breaking in the last 5, 6, 7 years when I'm the one on a 10? I'm on a 10-fight knockout streak. Like, you know, when you come to my fight, I'm sleeping somebody.
I hear you, Ness. But look, once again, that ain't the only person face he broke. He broke fucking Kell Brook's other eye socket.
Kell Brook, yeah, but you know he was damaged. He was damaged goods.
The other eye was damaged goods. You know what I mean, bro?
I hear you, but I'm saying he was damaged goods, though.
He caused damage. Yeah, damaged goods. Hey, he still was a champ, bro. Like you pointed out and you said already. He came over here, he took that damn belt from Sean Porter. It was a great fight.
I don't know about it being a great fight, but he did take the belt. But I ain't never said it was a great fight. He held his motherfucking life away. I hate that fight.
Hey. But the point is, he came over here, he did it. Earl went back, took it back from him, and that earned a lot of respect for me, bro. Like, that showed me Earl can really travel. And once again, that's why I keep saying it's a 50-50 fight, bro. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Terence hit him early and fucking Earl do a dance, bro. We don't know, bro. We don't know how it's gonna act, how it's gonna react, bro. The speed is like the type of power that Terence got. He got this power speed, bro. It's like he's fast and he got that
I don't
quick
know,
ass
man.
little.
I
Oh, that
don't
might
know.
make you.
Terrence be sparring with everybody, man. He spar with everybody. He
Yeah,
spar with
yeah.
famous people that always say he could punch. Everybody, like you ain't never heard a sparring partner say the opposite of that. Never. So all that, oh, he knocked out, who he knocked out. Nah, we know his power real. But listen, I gotta go, Lynch. But you know, if you don't know, just like you and everybody else, if you want to get a second call, you can always do a $5 super chat and or cash app, and we'll bring you back. We going out to Tommy in Florida. What up?
What up, Ness? You got me?
I got you.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Boston boys. All right, let me get on it. First, somebody brought back up the fact that Terrence signed with Top Rank. It was, if you read about it and really read about it, it was more of an extension, and they just guarantee him more money. It wasn't really a re-signing for like another multi-number of years. It was just like, I think like 2 extra fights, and they just guarantee him more money. And when he signed that deal, PBC, if I can remember, Earl Mikey was the first PBC pay-per-view for the new generation, not Floyd and all them, and that came after Crawford re-signed. And in the contract, it said he would get the fight with Spence. So that was that. Two, some dude called by 4 callers back, making an excuse, like saying, Terrence trying to do something, blah, 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 blah. It's pretty much at this point that they're trying to wait out Terrence for him to get older and older and older. All right, cool. You don't believe that? That's fine. But to try to say he's scared of Spence because Spence is more dedicated, but that's why Spence, like the boxing world knows, the nigga overweight. He can't. He trying to fight at 154 while still holding the 47 belts and fighting a mandatory at 47, but at 54. But you're trying to say he's scared to fight him because he's more dedicated to the. Nah, forget all that. And they keep pushing this Thurman Spence fight back. It's guaranteed it's gonna be, it's them, pretty much it's them, and it's gonna be Roacha versus Terrence. So everybody might as well get ready for that. And shit, I'm just trying to figure out everything I've been missing the last couple of shows. But when somebody mentioned Sean Porter in a fight, bro, and how you trying to determine how the fight versus somebody else will go because of the Sean Porter fight, you can't do that. Sean Porter ain't like, especially when it's a 147 guy. Sean Porter ain't like none of those guys. So every time Sean Porter was in somebody's face, that's just Sean Porter. Nobody fights like Sean Porter. So the fight will not be the same no matter who it is. So it's Earl versus Thurman, Earl versus Terrence, and Terrence versus Thurman, whoever else. None of that's going to be the same as Sean Porter because Sean Porter is Sean Porter. But, that's my call, Ned. Shout out to the Boston boys. Everybody be good, man. Yep.
All right, champ. I ain't hear no message from you, man. Look, he dipped off. VA money, what up? Virginia.
What's going on, man? Hey, you can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, so I just want to say that, I would love to see this fight with brother Errol Spence. I'm just like the two callers ago, saying that I don't want to get hyped till, I see like the final press conference before the fight. All these guys like triangulating between like Spence, Porter, and Bud. Bud stopped Porter, but I think Porter won almost every round in that fight. Like if you go back and watch that fight, Porter was looking really, really clean. He was looking cleaner in that fight than he did against Spence. As far as the business of the fight, I don't like talking business. So that's what you guys do up here talking. This is as close to an actual big fight in boxing that exists. The only thing that takes away from this fight being as big as it should be is the lack of the lack of popularity on Bud's side. Like Bud is not the most popular guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, it's a big fight because it climaxes a hardcore boxing narrative. Right? So we're trying to put the best not only for the 147 pound division to what I call lifetime pound for pound fighters. So Spence has been one of the best fighters in whatever division he's been serving in his whole career, and the same for Bud. When you start
VA money, man, I tried, man. It's just you sound like you in Florida with the windows down, driving on, the I-95 or the I-75. It's windy as fuck, bro. I don't know what's going on. I know you got the Bluetooth going. I tried to just let you rock, but it's no bueno, man. It's just bad, man. JT, what up? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We trying to get to that next goal of 166,000 subscribers. Right now, we are at 165,243. Plus, we got hella footage with Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Jared Hurd, Cashflow Diaz, Nico Ali Walsh. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. Danny really out there grinding while I'm holding down the show. So, come on. Tune in to the Boxing Voice right here on YouTube. What up, JT? We hear you.
All right, look, this is what I also want to say. They had a caller called in. It was called back. I wanted to answer because I forgot. He said he wondered why Ugas starts staying in front of him. I just think how Spence fight people, he makes you fight him and he makes you he wind up put you in front of him. Bud's style is, to me, he's a boxer, but he's not like box. He don't stay on the back foot and box you all the time. Bud go sit there. He's more like a boxer puncher. He's gonna come in there and he gonna try to touch you and get you up out of there and hit you when he can hit you. He's gonna move when he has to. But the thing about it is, Bud personality and Spence personality is gonna clash, and Bud want to be the big dog in the ring. So I could see him trying to sit in the pocket more and fight Spence. I don't think that's a good idea because I think the same is gonna happen. He's gonna fall fate to the same fighters that Spence fought, like with eyes, ribs, all that energy. Like Ugas probably wanted to move a little more, and I'm not saying Ugas is a mover, but when you in there with Spence, you have to fight Spence to get his respect. So we gotta stop saying it's way bullet size. And another caller just said about the size of Errol Spence and all that. Errol Spence never missed weight at a fight. He never came in overweight. So we could stop sitting there saying that. Terence Crawford is a full-fledged welterweight. Everybody, they say Spence Paul, they say he hits hard. Same thing as Bud. So it's a 50-50 fight when it come down to all that. If you wanna be biased, you could be biased, and but you gotta look at both of the fights. You gotta look at both fighters. It's proven. They when they get in there, they get people out of there. They're hurting guys. We just want to see what's gonna happen when they face each other. What dog gonna show up more? What mental toughness? Who gonna have the more mental toughness in the fight? So like I said, I can see where Bud can beat Spence. I can see how Spence could beat Bud. If I'm still picking, I'm still picking Spence. I'm not picking him because of size. I think when that style match up, is a bad matchup for Bud, and Bud is gonna get clipped because Bud don't like being controlled in the ring, and Spence controls the ring when he's in there. That's my counterpunch. Unless somebody else sees something stupid.
All right. I think we're going to a new caller in Tennessee. Who's this?
Renzo, what's good, bro?
Renzo, talk to us, brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I just want to say, man, I think that everyone is right about everything that they feel about this fight. Like from the negotiations to how they feel the fight is gonna go, because these fighters have done all the things that these guys are saying. So I believe that it's gonna go that way. However, I would like for these guys to call back if it doesn't go their way. The worst part about this fight is the fan bases right now. That's all I got.
All right, Renzo, Tennessee. Appreciate you. Ain't no show without info. Joe, California, stand up.
Yo, yo, yo.
What up, what up?
You hear me?
I hear you.
You hear me?
I hear you.
Man, sorry about that, brother. Man, first things first, man, shout out to the boxing gods for them revisiting this fight, man. Man, this is the biggest fight in boxing. I don't care who you say, anybody can call in right now and say they have a bigger fight than this fight. I had a dream about this fight last year that I was there. So I'm happy that they revisiting this fight. Actually, man, I haven't even called in a while. It took a lot out of me that this fight didn't even happen. So I'm back. I was mad at boxing, man. I ain't gonna front. I was pissed off at boxing. This shit didn't happen last year, but I'm happy that they're revisiting it. Shout out to the boxing gods. And what the last caller said, I believe everybody is right. I never picked a winner in this fight. I believe it is a 50-50 fight. And everybody's breakdown was pretty much on point that I would say on both sides. But it is a 50-50 fight. That's why it's the biggest fight in boxing. They're in their prime right now. I'm hoping that it happens at the end of the year. I will be there. I don't give a fuck if I got to say from today on. I hope to be there, though. Real talk.
Shit, you seen the tank prices? You seen them tank prices? Imagine what these tickets going to be.
You're right. I don't care. We need to have appreciation.
What would you pay? What would you pay? What's the most you would pay?
I would pay 4 to 5, man. Yeah, I would pay 4 to 5.
I mean, you spending 8 to a G because you got to get 2. Ain't no way you going solo.
Word. That's why I hope one of my boxing brothers, man, we can pitch in and get a box. We've been talking about this for years, just getting a box. Everybody pitching in, and cause I want to be in the building, man, most likely though. But if not, appreciation night, man, we can all watch the fight together though.
Shit, we could do an appreciation in the box. It'll just be us though. It's gonna be hard to get fighters to come to the fight and be in the box and not go to their ringside seats. You know what I mean? Plus, it's gonna be hard to get them to come to our box during the fight when they want to watch the fight.
Word up. Hey, shout out to all the callers, man, for calling in, man. You listening to the #1 pound for pound boxing podcast on the planet. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, stop shoplifting, and subscribe. I'm out, gentlemen. Peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in, Joe. We going out to new caller in Chicago. Who's this?
Yo, it's Rico. What up, Ness?
Rico, what's going on?
Nothing, man. I just heard y'all talking about this fight. First, I want to say everybody subscribe and like. You know, I've been watching boxing for a long time, but I'm not gonna call myself a hardcore boxing fan. But what I wanted to address was a lot of callers was calling in talking about Ugas. And I want to give credit to the guy that brought up the Bomac interview where he called Ugas a boogeyman, and he made sure to tell everybody to be scared of Ugas, that he was that guy, and for him to get iced by Errol Spence off of an eye injury, I just kind of feel like a lot of guys is not giving him credit for that fight, knowing all the adversity that he went through just to get to that fight, let alone win a fight by decision or split, whatever, unanimous, whatever. But no, I'm not biased. You know, I fuck with Terence Crawford. He moved like water in the ring. I like the way he danced in the ring. I love that Kell Brook fight, especially how he opened up. It was very beautiful, very, very technical. So I definitely think Terence Crawford is not going to be able to move as much, especially with the way that Errol Spence fights. You know, he runs down guys and he keeps a high guard. So we're not even going to talk about defense as far as Errol Spence goes. I want to see the defense of Terence Crawford or just his adjustments. We're not going to take away all the adjustments that he makes in the ring. Usually when he runs into a problem or he runs into something that is stopping him from getting a knockout, he usually adjusts and gets that knockout. So we're not going to discredit nobody, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you taking this call. I'll be calling in more. Everybody hit that like again. Everybody hit that subscribe. One of the realest podcasts, one of the realest channels and platforms out here right now. So, salute to you.
Appreciate it, champ. Appreciate the call. I got you down, Rico in Chicago, so we will be addressing you by name moving forward, and we look forward to your most recent calls. We're going out to Rocky in the 954. What it do?
What up? Buenas tardes, Ness. What's up, bro?
Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo está?
Yo, real quick, I wanted to hit on that, man. I just want to say I'm not an Errol Spence fan. However, I think Errol Spence is gonna work Bud, man. I think he's gonna work Bud. If the fight does happen, they keep playing with us, but if it does happen, Errol Spence has discipline in the ring. Terence Crawford has discipline outside the ring. It's two dogs fighting. We know that. It's two dogs. But I feel like it's a pit bull versus German Shepherd. I never seen Bud Crawford
German
fight a
Shepherd. I never
disciplined
seen a
fight.
German Shepherd beat a fucking pit bull. That's a bad comparison.
Listen, he gonna beat him. He gonna beat him on smarts, and that's because look. Have you ever seen Terence Crawford fight a disciplined fight and win off his game plan? I never seen it.
I mean, that's his
He
thing.
wins off
He
judgment.
likes to get touched. This he get fired up. Then he go kill you.
Right, he a pit bull. He went off adjustments. He's a dog. But I've seen Errol Spence come in with a game plan like against Mikey Garcia, against Danny Garcia, and he stuck to the script.
Holds his hands back.
And I think that's what he's gonna do to Bud.
Both Garcias had issues. One was small. The other one don't like to let his hands go.
Right, but I'm just saying Spence's game plan. He stuck to the script. What I think is going to happen in this fight is Errol's going to be ahead, sticking to the script. They're going to break him down. They're going to know what to do, stick to that stick. And then Terence is going to make an adjustment. And Errol, right there, if Errol gets sucked into Bud's game, then it's over. He's going to lose. But if he sticks to his game plan, I got Errol winning that fight, man. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet. All right,
champ.
TVB.
I ain't know. I ain't know that was the ending when he said I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I ain't know that was it right there. I ain't know it was done. Let me see. Is this my man Stone Bone? It sure is. Stone Bone Boxing, what up?
What up? I was hoping you didn't come to me right now. I'm driving, man. I'm almost home, man. I might be cutting out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, that guy must don't watch boxing that much. You remember the Victor Postol fight?
Yep.
Stuck to the game plan, beat him every round, dropped him 3 times. Do you remember the Jeff Horn fight? Stuck to the game plan, broke him down and stopped him. Do you remember the Benavidez fight? In and out, angles, body work, beat the body head with fall. He must know watch boxing. When you go for the knockout, sometimes you take risks. And sometimes you stick to the game plan and the knockout come to you. The boy is capable of doing either or. This is going to be a great fight, and it ain't going to be because you stuck to the game plan. What I said is both of their game plans are going to go out the window because they both going to be going at it. They both going to be trying to get to each other. So if you think you're going to win this by sticking to the game plan, you probably already lost the fight. You better have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G like you're doing the ABC with your kids. You better be able to switch on the fly. You better be able to play in the paint, play on the move, play going away, and play going forward. This is going to be a all-faceted type of fight. This ain't going to be no Hey, just stick to your body work and high guard, Earl, and you can win this fight. If whoever tell him that, they're going to get the boy knocked out. I'm still picking Bud by 10th round stoppage. They ain't changed that. Never will. All right, Ness.
Sorry for the dead air, guys. I'm sorry. That was actually Keith's trainer that hit me up, and I got no co-host, so I had to just, leave you guys on dead air while I handle that. Because I'm trying to get up in that gym, Let me see though, but that I don't know if the dead air killed everybody because I got no more callers, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Uh, Catch me on the next one tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing it all over again. And if you were on the line and you felt like I didn't get to you, that's because you didn't press one, whoever that is. All right. Goodbye.